Well. Happy Friday to everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope you had a good first week of the year. It is now 2023. Sorry for the tardiness on my part, but we have a ton of stuff to cover. We have a Washington Post article written by someone that I think you all know. We've got some developments in the FTX bankruptcy case. Lots of developments there. And we've got to do some things and just have some fun. Because, hey, you know what? It was a week. It's the first week back, right? First week after the holidays is always fun. What are you guys doing? Where are you tuning in from? How is everything going? What are you drinking this evening? Whether it's tea, water, soda, things that avoid cursey words in the first 15 seconds of a video. Yeah. Yep. Rob's on ADHD time. Yep. 5 minutes, he said, 10 minutes ago. Yep. These are all fair critiques. All fair critiques. We're at Rob's time, just as Emily's time. Yep. Anyways, how are we doing tonight? How are we doing today? How are we doing, period? Are we holding it together for the beginning of the year? Did we make it through the holidays unscathed? Relatively unscathed. Let me see here. So, in order to, let me see here. There he is. I'm here. Thank you, Cassie, for being concerned. I was here. Hello, everybody. How we doing this evening? I can't do the really soft Southern accent. I only know my Southern Virginia. In either event, how was the week? What are we doing? Blah, blah, blah. Those things. Soda and Pepsi, wonderful, love it, absolutely fantastic. Northern California with my cream soda, fantastic. Northern California getting hit by rain right now, lots of rain. Pebble Beach is completely inundated with water at the moment. But hi, orange squash and time and where? Okay, cool. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, house. Red wine in Wisconsin, Fairfax County, right here at home. Thank you. Drinking red wine in Dover, Florida. That's fantastic. Coming in from South Carolina, drinking Tanqueray and ginger. Love it. Fantastic. Cocoa with peppermint. Ooh, now that sounds nice. That sounds real nice. Bel Air, Maryland, iced tea. Norwalk, California, drinking water. Water good. Gotta hydrate. Dry January for me, so tension tamer tea it is. Tension tamer. Oh my gosh, tension tamer is much needed at all times of the week. Really. Hi, Rob, drinking electrolytes and adding 7-Up. Thank you, Brenda. Very much appreciated. Ottawa, drinking water just on break at work. Wonderful. Dr. Pepper, I have to pick up my parents from the airport at midnight, so I need all the caffeine to stay awake. All the caffeine, and then immediately take that calming tea to deal with the parents coming in from out of town. I mean, yeah. Southern California, drinking rum chata and coffee, still exhausted from the holidays and the kids' winter break. That seems to be the consensus among all those who have those little rugrats that get sick during the holidays. I don't know why. Why is it that all children choose to get sick during the holidays? They always do, every time, no matter what. Diet Dr. Pepper in Dallas, tea in Toledo, Ohio. Diet Dew in Ohio, ginger ale here. Wonderful. Coffee in Michigan. Jerry Agon, thank you very much for the super chat. Let it begin. Happy Friday, folks. Utah with key lime, iced tea, ice cream, and water. That is awesome. Thank you very much. Love to the Hogs. Yep, we'll get there in 2 seconds, promise. Lindsay, thank you very much. Lemonade and blueberry vodka in Seattle tonight. Love that mix. Great mix, period. End of story. Anyone who disagrees is objectively wrong. Diet Dew drinkers unite. There's a faction of you guys. Marvin CZ, thank you very much for the generous super chat. I'm drinking Chardonnay in Prague, Czech Republic. Glad to have made one of the Friday Night Frenzies. I'm glad to have you here, Marvin. Very much appreciate you being here, and thank you for the super chat. Okay, let me bring in a little bit of assistance. Ian, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, doing all right. Did you steal my objectively wrong line?
I have been using that emphatically over and over again. It was too good. I had to steal it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So how was your week, buddy?
Oh, it's been a long week, but it's not a bad one.
I mean, hasn't it been a week? It's always been a week for everybody.
It certainly has. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I noticed that you made a comment earlier, and I kind of want to echo the comment. So, YouTube has been doing a funny thing where the beginning of the year, apparently YouTube said, hey, it's the beginning of the year. We're going to go ahead and unsubscribe a lot of people from channels. So I have been seeing people taper off and people letting me know that they have not seen a notification for Friday Night Frenzy when I did put it out. So double check to make sure that you are still subscribed if you want to be. If you don't, that's fine. And make sure you hit the bell for subscribe. And before I forget, because I always forget, if you wouldn't mind, if you are here watching, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, it does actually drive traffic to the channel. It does a great job at putting this channel and this show in the recommended section for people who want to see it. And we have some cool stuff to talk about tonight. I gave a preview to Ian off screen. We're going to have some fun. So,
yeah, the YouTube goblins have been really disappointing lately because normally I post something and it's, few thousand views in the first couple hours. And now it's like, I'm sort of lucky if it's 1,000. So
it's amazing.
And
it's really weird.
Well, and the analytics show what's going on. It's like, yeah, we recommended this less, so fewer people watched it. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, and
why?
what's funny is it's not content driven. That's what I've noticed because the analytics are just down for everything. Like the exact, like good content that was getting good views. Like, and the funny thing is about this, the FTX story is at the front of a lot of media coverage. So I'm shocked that it's being driven down. But
yeah, don't know what it is, but is what it is.
Yep. Okay, so before we go too much further, I do want to say and give a shout out to a very special friend of mine. Rick Hogue is currently recovering. He's in the hospital. For those of you guys just playing catch up on this news, Rick suffered a stroke just before the new year. It was a surprise to everybody. He was hospitalized, and the good news is they were able to perform surgery. He is currently recovering. It's a road ahead of him. There's a road ahead of him. It's going to be a lot of prayers and a lot of thought. And I heard some very positive news today from Mrs. Hogue that Rick realized that he was not wearing his hat. That was his realization of today. I thought that was pretty funny considering the hat. So I'm hatted for him. Yeah. So I did want to do something just briefly. I got a bunch of requests from my members. If we wouldn't mind, I'm going to do a brief 15 seconds of silence. Just, y'all, if you're praying kinds, then please offer prayers. If you're not a praying kind, then please just offer positive thoughts. This is something that we never wish upon anybody, especially someone like Rick who has a family. He was the provider for his family. And 2 young children in school. So let's go ahead and we're going to do this for 15 total seconds, which for the ADHD brain to count to 15 without saying a word is not the easiest thing in the world. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. YouTube is going to hate me for doing that. I'm going to be happy with me for doing that. So thank you guys. And on that note, why don't we get into the first story of the evening, which actually, oddly enough, I'm going to use Rick as a way of presenting the story and give a little background. So there's a journalist out there who works for the Washington Post.
Asterisk.
And I know. Asterisk indeed.
I mean, I'm not even sure I'd go so far as journalist asterisk. I would just say there's an opinion writer.
There's an opinion writer. Exactly, an opinion writer. So let's see if we can do this. And I want to do this. And if you guys have not noticed or do not know, Rick does a show in the morning called Hangouts and Headlines, and where he takes articles that are written and he breaks them down and gives some further analysis on those headlines. So the journalist that we're speaking about ended up being featured in a
You
couple
gotta
of
stop
Rick's
saying
headlines.
journalist here.
The person, the writer,
There
the
we go.
person who writes under a masthead of corporate media, does a couple of articles, and one of the articles that she put out got some skepticism from our friend. So I want to pull it up real quick, and I want to share this for a moment. Do the things. There we go. Make sure you guys can hear the audio. Can we hear the audio when I play this?
Then they added, the story has also been amended.
Could you hear that?
Yep, I heard it.
Good. All right. Let's back this up a little bit. Come on, internet. There we go. Let's watch a little bit of this. And we're just going to listen to a little bit of our friend, honestly, because I kind of want to hear his voice. It's been kind of nice. Like, I haven't seen him for a while. So hearing his voice and having him here is pretty awesome. So
Been watching
if you
some of his
guys,
videos just to, keep his channel fresh, because otherwise YouTube does the punishing thing.
Yep, it does. It's not very friendly with that. And I see the chat's moving pretty fast. Mods, if you'd like me to slow it down, let me know. I'm going to leave it where it is until one of the mods tells me that I should slow it down a little bit more. But let's see what Rick has to say here.
Characterized what the Business Insider article was talking about when Ms. Lorenz apparently used that as the baseline for her sourcing here. And then Alita says, in reality, I had been covering this case in the weeks leading up to the trial. I can confirm that 100%, and had committed to live streaming and producing daily recaps of the trial every day for 6 weeks. I made that decision to commit to this trial long before it ever became clear that it would become the global phenomenon that it became. And then they have a little bit of the Twitter that we just looked at. We have a little bit from Umbrella Guy. And then National Review is interested in saying, hey, they removed it without acknowledging the mistake. So this becomes a national news story. This is in Fox. This is in National Review. And ultimately, it would get into other places as well, including places like The Wrap, who noted after this stealth edit was made, and I apologize for the 6,000 pop-up ads on these sites, folks, a previous version of this story inaccurately attributed to Adam Waldman, a quote describing how he contacted some internet influencers. That quote has been removed. So they tweaked the Waldman note. And then they added, the story has also been amended to note the post's attempts to reach Alita Majeka and that Umbrella Guy for comment. Previous versions omitted or inaccurately described these attempts. Now, what they actually said here, if we look, is she declined to comment for this story. And then they added the note that we just read. Similarly, that Umbrella Guy could not be reached for comment. And I said, well, that's not what happened, right? Looking at this, again, online, as they try to work this correction out, I say, no, they didn't contact them beforehand. This was evident. That's why you removed it without telling anybody that you removed it. And so I personally tweeted out, hey, does that new correction properly describe saying they reached out without ever reaching out, stealth removing any reference to reaching out, and then adding a line about refusal to comment, and not mentioning that it's happening after publication of the story? And I think the answer to that is self-evident. And so you get the Washington Post kind of twisting and turning and not just saying the easy thing, not just going out there and saying, look, we got this wrong. We're looking into our processes about how that line even got in there. Thank you for your attention to this matter, right? There's an old adage in crisis communication and public relations in general that says, don't make a one-day story into a two-day story. The Washington Post is working on making this into something like a 5-day story as we watch this. And the reasoning behind that is, look, own up to your sins, talk about them, and move on. This, honestly, isn't that interesting if you're not doing this at the time, right? And people have come to me in my tweets because I've been talking about this a lot, because I talk about media, as you know, from Hangouts and Headlines, and I talk about the Depp v. Heard trial. And of course, I support my friend at Legal Bites. But as I talk about this, some people are coming out and saying, hey, it's not that big of a deal. In fact, Taylor Lorenz is going to make that argument to you all in just a few minutes. It's not that big of a deal. It's just an error in kind of the editing process. And to some extent, I agree. Okay, I think it's bad. I think at no point should you be changing your article and not immediately thinking, hey, I need to add another editor's note saying what I did. I think that's journalistic integrity on these points. In fact, people say, well, what journalistic integrity does it have that bounds you on YouTube? Well, one, it's my ethical considerations and my own personal ethics and the legal ethics that prevent me from going out with falsehoods and whatnot. But also, if you look at the mechanisms here, if I go into a comment and I change that comment, you'll get a line that says edited. And a lot of the times, if it's a major or material edit, I will go in there and explain what happened in terms of it being changed, because that's the right way to handle communications with people, especially.
That was nice. That was pretty good.
Yep, and you can hear more of Hogue. Go on his channel. There's, watch the Lawyers and Dragons again. Watch, watch some of the great moments of his hangouts and headlines. So,
yeah, please do, guys. Please, absolutely, please do. Yeah. Sorry, that's the first time kind of in a little bit that I've heard him chat, and it was kind of nice to hear him. So, for those of you guys not knowing who he was talking about, it was Taylor Lorenz. And that story was referencing Alita Mashaka, where a public article, otherwise known as Legal Bites, where an article was run by the Washington Post saying that they had contacted Alita and asked her for a reference. And the reason that I bring that particular thing up is because this seems to have become a little bit of a modus operandi. And what I wanted to do was
just a wee bit.
Just a bit. Let me just do this real quick. So what I wanted to do was actually talk about this, because this is a modus operandi for this particular person who writes. I'm not going to use that term, because every time I use that term, a certain person on the stream with me is going to make a comment that I should not be using. It will continue. So this is not just the first time.
I'm not going to let that one slide.
That this particular individual has done this. Notably, this particular individual, Ms. Lorenz, had gone out previously and solicited commentary on influencers, and did so under the promise of anonymity in not disclosing addresses or information, and discovered Ariadna Jacob and ran a story about her and then doxed her. She also did the same thing with Libs of TikTok. And I think that she thought she was going to do this with Alita. And what was so strange today was when I woke up, I saw that there was a series of people commenting and making, forwarding me certain articles by another journalist, or by this journalist. And the article that was forwarded to me was, now why can't I see the article? Let me see the article, please.
Did you see Truffle Hound's member chat?
No, I can't miss that. I got to scroll. Hang on. The member chats are hard to see. StreamYard and YouTube. Can you guys get on the same page, like for once?
Spoiler alert, they cannot.
No, they don't know how to do that. Where was this? Truffle Hound, I see. Guys, I'm ordering food for the chat. I assume we all eat shrimp fried rice. Hashtag shrimp fried rice. That was nice. I wanted to read that. That was actually pretty good. So this particular journalist, dang it, I used the word.
Again, you gotta know.
I used the word. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to use it that way. This particular author, writer, writing under Masthead Media, started covering
Let's
the
just
FTX.
go with jackass.
I don't want to do that yet. Not yet. I mean, in a little bit. This particular writer starts covering the FTX and crypto story. And as you guys probably remember, I was covering the FTX upon their filing of bankruptcy and walking through Sam Bankman-Fried and his certain behavior that seemed to be a little bit less than above the board. And Ms. Lorenz made a comment on a tweet, and I'm trying to pull it up. That's why I'm sitting here scrolling, because I'm struggling with all of the things. Because that is how Fridays work. Because when I don't pull things up, that's what happens. There we go. Now, let's see. Let's share the thingy. Okay, so Twitter. We love Twitter. So Taylor Lorenz went out and made this comment on November 18th, 2022. Not a single person who uses the phrase citizen journalism has even a remedial understanding of the media landscape. I'm sorry, they sound like some, I think that was supposed to be get off my lawn troll from 2000.
Get off my internet.
Get off my internet. Get off my internet, folks. Get off my internet. That was on November 17th was when she tweeted that. Mm-hmm.
She thinks it's funny. She thinks she's people.
Yep. And this was in response to, oh my gosh, Rick Hogue. Here he is again. Gosh, man. Taylor's right. Journalists are, in fact, just citizens themselves, equally capable of being as wrong or right as any other human beings. It's important to treat them and every other source of news you might see as such. Why am I talking about this? Because this was November 17th and November 18th, and I laid this chat response to one of Taylor's tweets that said, hang on, looks like you dropped this right before asking for contact information for the citizen journalist covering the FTX developments. So there you see, November 18th. Now, when I go up to see, the tweet was deleted by the author.
Of course it was.
And what's funny is, I went to the Wayback Machine, and she has scrubbed even the Wayback Machine. Apparently, you can opt out of being tracked by the Wayback Machine and repeated. But the tweet that she was posting on the 18th was a tweet saying, hey, who are your favorite citizen journalists covering the FTX story? Give me their contact information. Let me get a hold of them. Is it starting to make any sense to anybody else what she might be doing? Because the reason I make this comment, and let's do this. There we go. Make that one go away. Here we go. So the reason she makes this comment, or the reason I commented about this, was the Washington Post ran an article, and the headline of this article was influencers outshine traditional media on coverage of FTX implosion. But everyone, please notice the byline for 1 second. The byline that says, a group of online creators has skyrocketed to fame by covering every aspect of meltdown. But some optimize for attention over accuracy. Does that sound similar at all to the byline that she ran when she was talking about Alita Mashaka covering the Johnny Depp trial?
Certainly does.
I think it does. I think it does just a bit. So, because
I mean, it also sounds like she's talking about herself, but
yeah. So let's go ahead and walk through this article. And I'm pulling this one up because I like PDF because I can highlight stuff. So, influencers outside traditional media on coverage of FTX implosion. A group of online creators has skyrocketed to fame by covering every aspect of the meltdown, but some optimize for attention over accuracy. We've seen that before. Let's see what your opinions are, Ms. Lorenz. The story of how Samuel Bankman-Fried, the 30-year-old founder of the crypto exchange FTX, misused billions of dollars while charming the media and becoming a darling of Washington has upended the crypto ecosystem. It has also served as a watershed moment for the business news landscape, making a group of internet influencers go-to sources for people hungering for the news of FTX and SBF, as Bankman-Fried is known.
Yeah, because why would they go to the people who got it wrong in the first place?
And that was part of the thing that I was saying before. The FTX story has been covered most broadly by people on YouTube, people on the internet, because the mainstream media, the masthead media, was behind by about a week on the reporting. Okay. Online creators, including software engineer and crypto skeptic Molly White and Stephen Findison, Coffeezilla. Yeah. And that's the other thing. Ms. Lorenz, you just absolutely love using names when people are going by online monikers, don't you? It's your favorite thing in the world. Yeah, the content creator who goes by the pseudonym Coffeezilla have emerged as powerful independent news sources, cataloging and exposing some of the biggest instances of alleged fraud in the crypto industry. Shock. Substack publications, including Dirty Bubble Media and Doomberg, have beat out mainstream outlets by calling attention to alleged wrongdoing and adding analysis. Anonymous Twitter accounts like Autism Capital put nonstop updates, some of them inaccurate, on the meltdown. The entrepreneur Mario Nawfal has become famous for his highly publicized Twitter spaces discussing FTX. A YouTuber named Ben Armstrong, who goes by the name BitBoy Crypto, has referred to himself as the Alex Jones of crypto. Generally speaking, I don't want to be the Alex Jones of very much. Even flew to the Bahamas in an attempt to track down Bankman-Fried in person and speak to him.
I mean, that's kind of hilarious.
But are you guys like getting the point here? Like every aspect of this is it's the exact same article. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, she's got one article. She's not a journalist. She's just recycling content.
She literally took the format. She took exactly what she had used previously and just said, I'm going to insert new names and new subject matter, and I'm going to say the same thing.
Are you surprised?
So all of this coverage of the FTX implosion is the most prominent example of how so-called citizen journalism, there's that word.
I mean, all journalism is citizen journalism unless you're talking about military propaganda. Like, does she think she's part of the military? Because that's...
I'm a citizen.
Yeah,
you're allowed to be a citizen. She's a citizen, so she's a journalist.
I mean, you know, if she's talking about civilian journalism, yeah, I mean, but yeah, we're all citizens, right? Of at least some country. I mean, I guess I can cover this and not be a citizen journalist. I'm a foreigner. Maybe she likes that better. Maybe she wants foreigner journalism.
It's pretty bad.
And again, journalism, you know, asterisk, because what she's doing is not fantastic.
No. And it's rather frustrating. And need I remind people that this was her chat. I just want to go back to this one because I think it's important to just citizen journalists. Not a single person who uses the phrase citizen journalism has ever even a remedial understanding of the media landscape. I'm sorry, they sound like get off my internet troll from 2009.
And she used that what is it? She used that phrase herself. So in the sentence.
Yeah. So we literally have in the article where she's making this point. There we go. So-called citizen journalism. There you go. Catapulting a fresh class of independent journalists into the mainstream, while also giving rise to a group of social media influencers who optimize for attention rather than accuracy. So you see where this article is going. It's basically saying if you are alternative media, if you are YouTube, if you are Twitter, you are less than masthead media. For years,
and it's hard to be worse than she is.
It's really freaking bad. It really is. For years, drama channels and T accounts, so-called because the word, quote, T is slang for juicy information. Thank you, Taylor. We needed to know that. Have been first to break the news related to pop culture and influencers. Business news is late to undergo this trend. The term citizen journalism first rose to prominence in the late 90s during the early days of blogging, when the internet promised to give everyone a voice, and usage of the phrase peaked in July 2004. But recently, billionaires and members of the Silicon Valley elite and their fans have sought to revive it and position so-called citizen journalism as an alternative to traditional media.
Yeah, it's because you're sucking traditional media. Like that's why people are taking issue with that.
Taylor, your bias is showing.
Well, I mean, the thing is traditional media are the people hiring people like Taylor Lorenz. So why the fuck would we put them on a pedestal anymore?
Mm-hmm. Many of these men. That's fine.
May have angered the YouTube gods.
That's fine. You just can't use it too much. That's you have.
We're gonna have to talk about someone else.
You have 3 in the first hour. I need to send you a button.
Yeah. You do.
I do.
You sent like everyone else a button.
I know, and I did have a report on that one. So a report from the Hogue household. I sent a screaming goat button to the Hogue household. It has not made its way to Rick. However, it is being used effectively to torment Mrs. Hogue throughout the entire household, to the point where the kids are now running around saying, "Where's my," and they do the goat screaming, "Where's my dinner?" That's just something. That's the way kids troll parents. It's pretty awesome. Many of these men, wow, Taylor, why are they all men? A lot of the people I've been following on this are women. Okay, have a well-documented hostility towards legacy
She's
media, which
self-snitching
often
there.
This is really bad, which often reports critically on them. Oh my gosh, do you want to give a crack at that name?
Angèle Christin, that one?
No, Cernivacin.
Oh,
that one. Oh shoot, that one.
Which one? Oh, yeah, no, I don't.
Srinivasan, for instance, once suggested doxing a, quote, vulnerable reporter in an email to a far-right blogger, but the shift towards online creator-driven media world is a broad technological shift, not a singularly ideological one.
Doesn't
in the
she dox
entertainment
people
world,
on the regular?
this is just her next one. Because again, going back to here, in the first the first page, second paragraph, she releases the name of a person who goes by a pseudonym. Why not talk about a YouTube channel, CoffeeZilla? Why do we have to talk about it and dox them? Or just, they have chosen to publish the information under this name.
There's literally no reason for it.
No. In the entertainment world, a big celebrity scandal or influencer breakup might be enough to skyrocket a channel to fame. For the finance world, FTX has proved to be that kind of story. Does that sound like anything else we know? Maybe the Johnny Depp trial of 2022?
I mean, she's just upset that people are talking about interesting topics that she feels they should own.
Yeah. The FTX financial scandal is taking drama and commentary in this new direction, says Angèle Christin. You can pronounce that one. That's French.
Angèle Christin, maybe?
Angèle Christin. Okay.
I mean, the problem is with a lot of French-styled names, a lot of people pronounce them in anglicized fashion. So it might just be Angela.
Angèle Christin.
Or yeah, it's hard to say.
An assistant professor at Stanford who studies drama channels. Why is Stanford? What is with Stanford? What is with Stanford?
Fire everyone and rebuild.
Just what the heck? You have so Taylor, maybe you should also do some research and realize that Sam Bankman-Fried's parents were professors at Stanford. Maybe you would go outside of the university where the parents of the person that's the subject matter of your coverage are not employed. Are you kidding me? And then you have Michelle Dauber, who was there in the Depp trial. Why is Stanford in all of these cases? Why are they involved in every single aspect of this? Drama channels are seen as a very feminized area. They're associated with things that a lot of men don't want to be associated with: beauty, makeup, artists, celebrity, not doing serious objective data gathering. So you see them trying to distinguish themselves from the world of drama channels by calling themselves citizen journalists. It raises really important questions about power on social media.
Well, because it isn't drama, this is news. It's the same reason why Sam Bankman-Fried is reported in, the news section and not like the lifestyle section or the celebrity gossip section. Every news site is making the same freaking distinction, you jackass. Sorry, you jack. Yeah.
You can say jack. I think jackass is fair.
I mean, that one is not really even swearing because, hey, it's, referring to an actual animal.
The heck? Are you kidding me? So let's break this down. Drama channels are seen as very feminized area. Okay. I disagree. You have Popcorn Planet. That's not drama. That's celebrity gossip. You have TMZ, which last I saw has a lot of male journalists reporting for them. Okay. They're
Yeah, was it
associated
Morgan
with
Tremaine, one of
He
their
was.
people? Last
He
I
was.
checked, he's a guy.
I am just pretty astounded here. And I'm getting people commenting that the monitor and the visual is blurry. Can you guys see the article? I want to make sure that we can see what we're reading. Dun, dun, dun. Chat, you guys can see? Please tell me you can see.
It is a little blurry, but my quality seems to have auto set to low. So if you're having trouble on the quality, set it up a little bit, like hit the little gear button, go to quality, because at 720, it looks perfectly fine.
Okay. All right. There we go. They're associated with things a lot of men don't want to associate with: beauty, makeup artists, and celebrity. I like being beautiful. I don't know.
Well, it's just that the makeup channels are associated with, like, the thing is that there are makeup channels and they have drama because they fight amongst each other. But yeah, that doesn't mean that it's. God, she's full of crap.
Well, and this is the Stanford professor. So this is just Taylor quoting. But again, Taylor, I mean, your sources, my dear, your sources. Like, can we talk about that? Yeah. And I want to do this because I'm having trouble getting the highlights in. So I want to actually make sure we can see it. And I actually pulled up the article because it was behind a lovely paywall for someone who makes a big fuss about people who are profiting on publishing news. I think it's pretty important that we talk about all of that. And guys, it's the first Friday of the new year. I'm struggling still. I apologize emphatically for that. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. That's better.
It's not just that she's chosen violence, it's that she's chosen incompetent violence.
Yep. It's pretty bad. Catapulting flesh class, blah, blah, blah. Juicy information. Here we go. There we go. This is where we are. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hang on. Did we just catch a stealth edit?
Wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know.
Huh.
What are we looking at here?
Hang on. Hang on. No. Why is... There we go. All right, so we're still back. Okay, no stealth edits. We're still good. A lot of men don't want to bleed beauty, blah, blah, blah. So you see them trying to distinguish themselves in the world of drama channels by calling themselves citizen journalists. Question about power on social media. Why does it always have to be about sex? Why are you always making things about men and women? Because you have to. Many drama channels and T pages have evolved into full-fledged media operations that out-earn and outperform some traditional media brands. Maybe they're
because they're
outperforming.
better.
I know. Maybe because they're outperforming you. Period.
Yep.
Drama Alert, for instance, a YouTube channel founded by David Keem, is often called the TMZ of YouTube. It has a cadre of staffers and it amassed more than 12 billion
I thought that
views
was
on YouTube.
only women that did those.
I thought so too. It's kind of funny, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
I mean, how long did it take her to disprove her own premise?
A paragraph. The Shade Room, a popular digital media brand that grew from an Instagram gossip and news page, is now a multi-platform media powerhouse. Good for them. While most drama channels and T pages operate on YouTube and Instagram in the business world, Substack and Twitter are the preferred platforms. Based on whose interpretation? That's a pretty mighty assertion. While most drama channels and T pages operate on YouTube and Instagram in the business world, subtext, of which I am a part, Substack and Twitter are the preferred platforms. Didn't you get yeeted from Twitter a little bit ago and then come back? The influencer-driven media community is key. Several crypto T pages covering the FTX saga operate Discord servers for their followers. As Bankman-Fried took the stage at the New York Times Deal Book Conference last month, followers of at Autism Capital, interesting account, they retweet and they post a lot of news up to date, dissected the interview in the account's Discord server. Quote, rich people laugh at people losing life savings to fraud, one member posted after the audience laughed at something Bankman-Fried said on stage. Yeah. I mean, they're laughing.
That seems like a thing you might comment on.
Autism Capital is a perfect example of a T page. The account calls itself, quote, citizen journalism for crypto, and posts the type of information commentary you would not likely to see in traditional news, sometimes because it's simply not true. Autism Capital has deleted tweets that turned out not to be factual. So have you.
So have you.
Yeah. Oh my God. I need a second. Can you read this paragraph, please? I need a minute to just, I'm going to say curse words.
So the account sometimes asks followers to verify information it publishes, which she did. Please confirm. A user claims that they spotted Caroline Ellison at Ground Support Coffee on West Broad in Soho, Manhattan at 8:15. That would mean she's not in Hong Kong and is in New York and not in custody. Autism Capital tweeted on December 4th. Well, yeah, he's trying to ask a question. Can anyone confirm this? Ellison was the CEO of Bankman-Fried's investment business, Alameda Research, and a former Bankman-Fried girlfriend. She pleaded guilty to fraud last month and offered a tearful apology to the court. I mean, that's clearly that somebody is saying, hey, can somebody, verify this? I've heard this.
It's worse than that. It's worse than that. She was spotted in New York. Do you know who she made a plea deal with? The district attorney, the Department of Justice for the Southern District of New York. Do you think that maybe the confirmation that she was not in Hong Kong, but was instead in New York, as I speculated on this particular channel in a similar
actually a big deal
video, actually ends up being a big deal, because the second she was spotted in New York, I kind of said, I think she's going to turn.
Yeah. Well, she already was turning.
She was. Oh my, okay. She pleaded guilty to fraud last month, offering a tearful apology. Before covering the FTX implosion, almost exclusively, Autism Capital cast doubt on sexual allegations against Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy. Complained about woke culture and posted free. Why are you bringing in Dave Portnoy? What does any of this have to do? What does any of this have to do with what you're saying?
Oh, because it's a hit piece.
What does any of this have to do with that? Yes, Autism Capital posted about Dave Portnoy. Why does that have to discredit what they're saying when it comes to crypto? Oh. More substantive content has come from other creators operating on platforms like Substack and YouTube. Take Doomberg, a successful Substack publication and Twitter account that chronicles economic and policy news focused especially on energy and crypto. Its mascot is a cartoon green chicken in the line of their tagline, if Chicken Little got a Bloomberg terminal, the founder conducts interviews as the green chicken. That entire paragraph is meant for the reader to basically say, I view them as less because they don't want to appear on screen.
Yep.
Doomberg has become a go-to newsletter for more than 100,000 paying subscribers, despite being fully pseudonyms. Why is that a problem?
I mean, there's a long tradition of pseudonymous publication in the U.S., including the founding fathers. If you don't know who Publius is, you don't have any business being a journalist. The good news is she's not, but she is pretending to be.
This is Woosah, I can breathe. Kristen, that was very, very generous of you. Happy New Year. Let's just have a drink because we can, LOL. But if we must toast, let's toast to my dog Ruby. Toast to your dog Ruby. Love your content. Happy New Year, Kristen. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the generous support you've given this channel and many of my other friends on YouTube. It is very, very much appreciated. Let's go back and try to maintain our sanity. We've found when large accounts de-anonymize, the brand mystique dissipates, he explained on a Zoom call with the Post. That's fair. The traditional media is slower than distributed citizen reporting, said the founder and head writer for Doomberg, who spoke on the condition that he be referred to only as Doomberg to protect his brand. Are you going to respect that? Is this the one time you're going to respect that?
And then here's his name.
If she gives his name, I will lose it. Crypto is characterized as a hostility to the system. So to the extent that a news outlet is considered part of the system, it's going to have a high degree of distrust. Yep. Fairly. Independent outlets like this, however, can publish at a speed a traditional publisher can't rival. You mean like from November 18th when you posted that tweet until today's date? So November 18th when you started asking for names, and that's when then you went out and posted it? Okay. Quote, if you think about editorial rigidity, there's necessarily a trade-off with speed, he said. Our objective is to have as much of a filter as we need only to publish things we know are true, but fast enough that we can get our story out. In comes freaking CoffeeZilla. The suggestion is that CoffeeZilla posts too fast. CoffeeZilla does interviews and research for like months.
Yep.
Okay. James Block, a physician who began using Substack in January, has also emerged as a powerful voice covering the crypto space. His Substack publication, Dirty Bubble Media, uses an evil-looking pink and red bubble as a mascot. Why is it evil? That's your analysis. That's not okay. Like many in the crypto world, he does not use his real name online. Very quickly, Block established himself as a small reporter. He was first to call attention to problems with Celsius, a cryptocurrency lending company that went bankrupt over the summer.
It does have an evil face on it.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, it's got like a face on it.
Oh, where is it? Well, share it with me in the private chat. I haven't seen it.
I'll try to find a picture that isn't like a tiny, tiny little image.
So what was interesting here is that she actually didn't report on the biggest news about Celsius was the bankruptcy filing that basically said that Celsius owns all of the crypto that was in their wallets, even though they said that you would own it. So maybe you should report on that and not just gossip stuff. He was also the first to declare Alameda Research, a cryptocurrency trading firm affiliated with FTX, insolvent. Well, then I would kind of want to know why he came to that conclusion. Quote, I developed an audience because I publish things that are accurate, and I've been right about everything I've written about, Block said. There are a number of people who are producing excellent work these days that are not part of the mainstream media. The issue is sorting through the garbage. That's a fair assessment. It's a very fair assessment.
I just put an image in the private chat. So you can...
That is evil.
See?
Oh, that is evil. Let me see if I can share this with you guys.
I mean, I think that one's fair.
I will say that's I would say that's an evil looking bubble.
That looks like an evil bubble.
That's yep. So
we're gonna say
Taylor,
that one's fair.
Yeah, Taylor, I take back that one comment. Just that one. Going on. Block doesn't monetize his Substack and says he writes articles for fun and as a public service. Quote, I get to meet all sorts of random people and learn about interesting things, he said. I don't have any goals with this. I'm just doing what I find interesting. Well, that's funny because that seems to be what a lot of us do.
I mean, it defeats her usual claim, which is, usually she's like, oh, everybody's making so much money on this. And now it's, oh, this guy's making no money. So that's also a fault.
Yeah.
You can't win with her.
Findison,
making money you can't, not making money. Oh, well, that's also, terrible. It's like,
Literally, there's no winning at all.
Yeah.
Findison.
Nope. Potter's got opinions.
Yep. For the professor, Trufflehound says, thank you for the super chat. I can clearly see, and now Lorenz is wrong. I can see corporate media fade away. Gone are the lies, stealth edits, and gratuitous aplomb. Aplomb? Aplomb? I don't know that word. That's complicated. YouTube's a light, bright, insightful, informative place. I totally see that. Apparently, I'm supposed to sing this. Oh, I can see clearly now. Lorenz is wrong. I can see corporate media fade away. Oh, gone are the lies, stealth edits, and gratuitous aplomb. YouTube's a bright, light, insightful, informative place. There you go. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to Trufflehound for that one. Findison, a full-time content creator who goes by the pseudonym CoffeeZilla, is one of the foremost independent journalists covering the crypto industry and online fraud. He was profiled by The New Yorker in May for his work uncovering crypto scams, and his investigative journalism in the crypto space has earned him more than 1.54 million subscribers on YouTube. I think he's about 2 point something right now. Let me just double check. CoffeeZilla, what are you at, buddy? CoffeeZilla, you are at...
I mean, it's because he's doing great content.
2.39 million subscribers. Update your numbers, Taylor, because that's a lot more than 1.54.
Also, it's a lot more than her readership.
Absolutely. Venison says he finds the wedge that people try to drive between traditional media and so-called citizen journalists tiring. In reality, he said, the line is more and more blurred. You have mainstream journalists who have Substacks and new media people doing stories for the New York Times. Fair. It makes sense, Venison said, that these shifts would come to a head around the FTX story. Quote, I think crypto's dislike of mainstream media is directly tied to their dislike for all establishment, he said. Most people in crypto have felt cheated by the mainstream financial institutions. They were the ones watching the banks get the big bailouts in 2008, and Jim Cramer saying Bear Stearns is okay. They got foreclosed on. They watched their 401ks go down. Didn't Taylor's comment make a comment about get off my internet in 2009? I think that was about right. There's a feeling among crypto enthusiasts that, quote, if you're powerful enough and rich enough, the corporate media will never look at you badly. CoffeeZilla said, there's been an underestimation of how much distrust there is in legacy institutions that give the appearance of fairness, but actually have a deep bias towards corporatism and power, end quote.
Oh,
I agree with that.
He just dropped a bomb on her and got her to quote it.
I agree with this is quotable as hell.
Well, she didn't realize the whole time that he's talking about her.
This is fantastic. There's been an underestimation of how much distrust there is in legacy institutions that give the appearance of fairness, but actually have a deep bias towards corporatism and power. Wow. I don't think that says what you think it says, Ms. Lorenz.
I mean, she just is incapable of understanding.
Yep. Mike Dudas, an investor at crypto venture capital firm 6MV, worries about those filling the gap. For every Findison, and for every CoffeeZilla, I'm going to stop saying Findison. For every CoffeeZilla, there are dozens of anonymous T accounts that will publish anything that gets them attention. Well, that then leaves the reader, who could just as easily be persuaded by your writing as they could by someone else's. And honestly, I trust the other people more than you. Quote, we've seen a rise of folks who have tried to fill the gap left by the traditional media. And more often than not, it's not a net positive, Duda said. You have a lot of imposter pseudo experts. They flock towards areas of complexity where people don't understand things, and they fill that void with loud misinformation. How are they supposed to get information?
He responded while staring intently at Taylor Lorenz.
Citizen journalism is susceptible to echo chambers, Nawfal said, because if they create drama, they get attention. If they find a fact that goes against what most people believe, many won't mention it because everyone will disagree with them.
this is what the mainstream media does too.
Many influencers who have garnered mass attention from covering the FTX news are trying to be responsible. Tiffany Fong, a YouTuber and content creator who's been covering the crypto collapse on Twitter, networks regularly with journalists and at mainstream outlets, in some cases feeding them scoops she's not prepared to report herself. This part right here, trying to be responsible. Boom, trying to be responsible. Next sentence. Networks regularly with journalists and mainstream outlets. Do you think that she's trying to say something?
She's
like
basically trying to imply that that's required for being responsible, is that you, that you, yeah.
Quote, if I had no intention of being an influencer doing anything journalistic, but when Celsius, or I had no intention of being an influencer or doing anything serious, anything journalistic, but when Celsius shut down withdrawals, I had no one to vent to it about it. Well, yeah, I felt the same way when I saw people misreporting legal news. Like, if you guys get it wrong and you give me the ability to come and say, like, you're wrong, I'm going to do it. When she's received audio from the internal all-hands meeting, she decided to take a two-pronged approach. I was like, okay, I'll leak it to the New York Times and I'll post the audio on my YouTube channel, she said. Here's the thing. I wonder which one of those got more traction.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that anyone can become a reporter at this point, she said. People do now look at me for updates on the news. People now look at me for updates on the news. That's how I read that. It is really cool that anyone can build a platform and become trustworthy and have the power of being a journalist. Because this part, journalist, it's not a real thing. I'm going to stick with this. It's not a real thing. Journalists are people that see something and they report about it. That is the same thing as someone who goes to dinner, comes back home and reports to their family what they saw at dinner. Just increase the scale. You are not special. While this new cadre of independent, quote, citizen journalists, there's that word again, Taylor, might not be working in a traditional newsroom, Fong said, they do collaborate and help each other on stories. We're all working together, she said. I chatted with CoffeeZilla and Dirty Bubble Media. We're able to work together and fight for a common cause of getting information out there. It doesn't feel competitive. We all just want the truth out there.
Yep.
How do we feel about that article, folks? Do we have thoughts?
I mean, I think we need to stop giving her any attention. Like, just stop reading her stuff. Like, stop talking about her. Because, I mean, she likes this because now people are reading her stuff, right? So as much as we're criticizing her, we're helping her here.
Yeah. You're right. But also, I would be I'd be more vocal if I wasn't more upset. Like Taylor Renz is a failed influencer, and that's what she keeps on trying to portray. She's jealous of every single person, and this is just speculation. This is Rob's opinion. We're gonna hang on. Swoop for Rob's opinion. Stop trying to tear everyone down. Stop doing it. Just stop doing it. You're not going to build yourself up by doing that. You know how you build yourself up? By creating original content, not by ripping every single other person's content down. Not by saying who they should look to is not who they're seeing, but instead you. Actually create something. Actually go out and do reporting, not just gossip, because that's what I just read. That was gossip. That was gossip. And
Yep.
what that was taking a creator like CoffeeZilla who puts months of research into his story and then creates that story in a way that is so digestible and easy to understand that it encourages other creators. Like, for example, Moffat on Money, small YouTube channel who's been putting out content recently, doing a great job, and who's gifted a bunch of memberships tonight. And I thank you for being in the chat tonight. What it does is when we see people misreporting stuff, we come out and we say that what's being misreported is inaccurate. And there's a place for us out there, and there's a place for everybody out there. Don't go and tear every creator down, because what you do is you minimize a whole platform and you make us trust you less. Casey McCloy, thank you for the super chat. That is, in fact, a wreath made of bullet casings behind Ian.
It is indeed.
Well,
it was given to me as a gift. It's great for Christmas.
Yeah. And then I'm getting a request from the mods. If you guys don't mind, if you would please avoid all the emojis, please, if you can. I know that they're there, but I already slowed the chat down. There's 2,500 of you here, and it can move kind of fast for my mods. So just let's let everyone engage. Okay. Let's catch up on some super chats and then move to the next story, which is going to be a little bit more fun, hopefully, because we're going to start talking about some things that Ms. Lorenz kind of forgot about when she was making comments. Let me see here. I'm going to ask for your help, Ian, in a second while I pull the next thing up. And I'm asking for help pulling up super chats so that you can help me read them while I pull up my next story. Let's see.
We'll just have to see if we can actually get them.
I know. First one. That Girl Down Under, thank you very much. Can we review Make It Truth or Wine and Coke 1 of 2? 2 of 2 without truth. It's just the AH birthday special. Oh,
I feel like I have the advantage on the Wine and Coke or truth.
You might. That's aggressive. That's aggressive. Cat W, thank you for everything you do. I love learning from y'all. Friday Night Frenzy, Trial Century, and Innocent Chronicles are all I've been watching. I'll be on the replay crew tonight, so I'm sorry I'm sad. My sad super chat ended Wednesday's Trial Century stream. Cat, I love all of the audience participation, everything you guys do to contribute to these live streams as they go on. We cover really fun topics, not fun all the time, but educational. I like that we get to do this. It's a really cool place to be. Kalisha, Rob was a Mormon before becoming Catholic, right? Nope, I was not. I was Presbyterian. Emma Black, thank you very much. Lawn Lumber, I'm rehabbing a desk into a kitchen island and starting the stain stripping and restain process. Wish me luck. Good luck. Good luck. Sandpaper, a lot of sandpaper, a lot of work. Respirator, please, respirator, especially sanding that old stuff. Take care. It's Kim, thank you very much. I've been really sick this week, and your streams have helped me keep my sanity. You know what other streams will help you keep your sanity? Rick Hogue and Lawyers and Dragons. There's a playlist for it. If you go and watch those, I guarantee you are guaranteed to laugh. Emily D. Baker makes an appearance. Natalie Lawyer Chick makes an appearance. Kurt makes an appearance as Blackleaf with one of the most hysterical performances I've ever seen. It is definitely worth a watch. Throw it on, and then you'll have several hours of good content. Susan Elaine, thank you very much. Happy Friday, Pepsi and Puppy Snuggles while I watch tonight. Always look forward to Friday Night Frenzy. Thank you very much. Robin Silver, thank you for the super sticker. Very much appreciated. And glad to have you here again this evening. Ryan Man, YYC. Here's a thought. Start a relaxing fireplace video. T-minus 2 hours. So when actual Friday Night Frenzy starts, immediate cursey words.
That'll kill the algorithm.
I think it might be YouTube might not be very happy with that one. While I would
have 2 hours of nothing, then YouTube will just be like, yeah, this is a dead thing. And
like
it's not going to work.
Definitely be happy with it. But that's just me.
YouTube would be unhappy. YouTube would just be like, there's nobody been watching for 2 hours, so this is dead and nobody would find it.
Runkle, can you take over for a second?
Yep. So Vez from Quebec. Hello, 2023. Spicy rum and coke from La Belle Provence. More wine, sparkle farts, and shrimp fried rice. And I don't know how we get the next one. Pamela Weisenbach, trying to decide between Kraken Spiced, Old Monk Overproof, or Cruzan Blackstrap. Ideas. I've only tried one of those, and it's the Kraken. It's not bad, so mix them all together. That's there we go. There's advice that'll get somebody to not ask for advice anymore. Marvin CZ, I'm drinking Chardonnay in Prague. So that's Czechoslovakia. Glad to have made one of the FNFs. So that's Marvin from Czechoslovakia. Shuri, and I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name. I apologize. Tucson Coffee, Wood Daddy Stacks on screen. Snark Daddy in the chat. Friday night is good. Nicholas, beer and booze was drunk on New Year's, so it's Rotary fizzy wine I forgot I had. Nice. Jaragon, let it begin, let it begin. Happy Friday, folks. Utah with key lime ice cream and water. Knit 1, Law 2. Nothing better on a Friday than listening to some of my favorite colleagues while writing an opposition to a motion to dismiss. Here's hoping your opposition carries the day. Unless you're against me, in which case, the other one. Beverly Morgan, thank you very much for the super sticker. Mandalore Wise, got my ADHD diagnosis today. Now I'm hoping that I'll get assistance in the last few college classes I've been struggling with. Yep, and it can take a little while to get that all, to get everything kind of figured out. So best of luck on that, because it can be rough.
Good luck. Absolutely. K-Rap, thank you very much. FTX is being driven down because it's getting media coverage. YouTube tags corporate media channels as newsworthy, and their coverage is pumped up. Others down shotten. Yes, that has been a thing. It has been really frustrating to watch, especially because a lot of the mainstream outlets have gotten a lot of the story wrong, 100%. Lita Randolph, yeah. I'd select to donate 1,000 to his family, regardless if you and Ian play truth or dare with stipulations. Let me know how. We are really close, guys. I talked to Mrs. Hogue this evening. We're going to try and get that set up the next few days. I will post that. You will be seeing it on Ian's channel, my channel, Emily's channel, Alita's channel.
It'll be everywhere.
Nick's channel. It'll be everywhere. Like, you will literally see that link to just about everywhere. And we are going to be
sick of seeing it, and we're still going to be showing it to you.
Correct, because the thing is, there's a fair amount of rehab, and rehab is not cheap, and he was the breadwinner, and he cannot practice law while he is in this state. So he has an actual inability to do the thing that derives money for his family. So we're going to try and fill that gap. And Lieben, thank you very much. Possibly the reason for less views is because Idaho murder was arraigned, and everyone on YouTube is watching that. I saw it. Ian covered it last night. I have been trying to give my commentary where I can or where I need to. And to be honest, the Ann Liebman, we're getting less views even on those videos. Like, less views is actually just algorithmic push down. It's kind of funny to watch. It's odd, but yeah. That's a good reminder. If you are watching, please like the video. Please go subscribe to my friend Ian Runkle LaBailey. Uncivil is in the chat. Go subscribe to his channel as well. Good content being created by lawyers that know what they're talking about. So please, if you wouldn't mind. Burf90, thank you very much. Rob, if you get to do Lawyers and Dragons again, oh no, there's no if. We are. It is happening. You and David need to find a way to undead, unblind, unsoul steal nobody's dragon so he can tame his little buddy. Generally, on like re-aliving an unalived dragon, that doesn't work out very well. See Game of Thrones. What season was that? Like 6?
I watched 2 episodes and then decided I didn't want to watch anymore.
It can bring bad consequences, but I'll talk to David.
Yeah, it was not a show I enjoyed.
Yeah. Elizabeth Chetwood, thank you very much. Ho TV has been running nonstop in my home office laptop since I heard the news. Thank you very much. It will continue to run until Rick comes home. Hashtag shrimp fried rice. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Very much appreciated. Here for years. Thank you. Modern journalists equals scribblers of drivel and nonsense. I could not agree more. Because I'm Batman 5702. One, I love that name. It's fantastic. I am Batman. Ian, where's your juggler outfit and herring? What?
That's a reference to a video I just put out.
I need to see it. That's awesome.
It's got some runkleisms in it.
Rhineman YYC. Runkle. Rob needs a bonk each time he utters the J word. Amanda Lang, thank you very much. Question: is there an easy way for a viewer to know if a video is demonetized?
Nope,
for those watching,
really.
rewatching, nope. I will tell you that Rick's channel, I think all those videos are monetized. Additionally, there is a lovely thing that I know that there are a bunch of people who watch Hangouts and Headlines and send super chats. You guys are sending it tonight. It's never something we expect. It's always something we absolutely love when you do. We appreciate it. We never ask for it. I never ask for it. I'm asking for it now, but not for my channel. There's a function where you can go and watch a video, and below the video in the comment section, you can leave what's called a super thanks. It's the same thing as a super chat. If you watch the video and love the content, it's a great way to show the creator you love the content. And please, let's fill those comment sections with a lot of love. Jules C. For Runkle, do you think the recently leaked rumored D&D changes will affect Lawyers and Dragons videos? Just want to make sure watching those is still helping. I saw something about this. You tweeted about it. Is there something you want to fill people in on?
Yeah, I'm going to be making a video on this, but basically they're removing the open game license, and it may be legally perilous to do D&D streams at this point. And besides that, both David and I agree that the way Wizards of the Coast is behaving has been obnoxious. We'll call it that. And so neither of us really wants to support them until and unless they back away from this. So David is working on his own system. And so Lawyers and Dragons is likely to move away from Dungeons and Dragons onto a custom homebrewed system, just to get away from that BS. So how's that? And it looks like we've lost Rob. He's got the Be Right Back unicorn.
We haven't. So question is, we get to keep our characters, right?
I think so. I think they'd just be ported over to some analog in the new system.
I've grown relatively fond of Ghostblade.
You don't say.
Cult of Personality. Taylor Lorenz's uncle owns the Wayback Machine, IIRC, in case you...
If I recall correctly.
If I recall correctly. That would be very interesting. Z, thank you very much. Allegedly, Taylor Lorenz's uncle founded Wayback. Interesting. Things I did not know. Upbeat Data, thank you very much. I got something remedial. Have that troll, GOMN, get off my news. Fair. Poison Elf, and this is why print news is dying a slow, agonizing death. They're fighting their way down to the... They really are. They're not going to let go. Professor of Logic, here we go. Is it legally possible to turn her name into an NFT, officially giving it no value? Ooh, that. Oh, all right. That's a good burn.
No, it implies it has value now, which...
Jury's out. Crazy Cat Queen, isn't Lorenz just a sponsored troll? That's one way to look at it. Milena, thank you very much for that super chat. Let me see here. 1 second. Yeah. Happy New Year. A friend mentioned FTX, and I was like, so let me tell you about SBF that I know from Rob. That's probably one of the most fun things about this. And you can probably echo this one as well, Ian, because the cool thing that I have noticed is since we have started Trials of the Century, SBF, since I've started this channel, the amount of stuff that I have had to research for and learn, and then like people are going, what is this? And I'm like, oh, I know this story. And then being able to recount it. has been really pretty cool.
Well, one of my favorite random moments was somebody who was telling me about the Johnny Depp trial, and then they were like, and then I was like, oh yeah, no, it's been interesting. And then they sent me something 2 days later going, why did you not tell me you're there? I'm like, well,
it's a weird thing. Runkle is a foreign correspondent. Yes, he is. Foreign correspondent Ian Runkle. Runkle of the Bailey is here to help me analyze U.S. news. I love that. That's great. Professor of Logic. French pronunciation requires a bite of cheese while gargling wine. That is probably also a fair assessment. Nick Loss, how are you, my friend? Rob,
resisting the urge to make terrible jokes.
I know. Rob, face palms. It gets so blurry. Watch. Yep, that's fun. M169, as a feminist, Ms. Lorenz likes to gender stereotype a lot. She certainly does. Kurt, I love you. Balenciaga, teddy bear. Oh, that's dark. You can take that up with Kurt because that suggests certain behavior. Wendy Isaacson, thank you very much. She is calling you she's calling your P word.
Parents?
Let's go with parents.
Like parents? But why would it be asterisked out?
Let's go with parents. We're going to go with parents. I don't want to know the rest of it. Courtney, yes, thank you very much. Runkle, you're a genius. You are now on my TV screen at 1080p and it's crisp. Thank you, Courtney.
There we go.
Ian. Virginia Tracy, I've got to pass this whole thing on to my ex-husband, an honest to God journalist. I'd love to hear his take on it, a freelancer for 30 plus years. Journalism used to be something. Like it used to actually be people that were in the weeds getting information. And what's funny about that is CoffeeZilla, watch his videos. Look how much he actually does as far as research is concerned.
Oh,
look who he interviews. It's wild. That is better than an article, in my opinion.
Well, and he did that cross-examination that was just fantastic.
Oh, God, I love that. Aaron Ryder, hi, Rob Runkle, started teaching the internship. Wonderful. Congratulations. I hope you have fun there. I do see your Hardy cat. Mine's somewhere around here.
Some people in the chat were talking about Hardee's, so.
Yeah. Professor Logic, same integrity as a Jell-O support beam. That was a good one too. Professor Logic, Trufflehound is about to drop a bomb track. Be nice. It's his first time playing a didgeridoo. I don't think it's his first time. Wendy Isaacson, thank you very much. Bless, it always works for me when addressing idiots. Love y'all. Yeah, bless. Just bless. Jaragon, thank you very much for the super chat. Finding Waldo, Finding Taylor. Can we make a Where's Taylor Ends book? Find the stealth edits and hypocritical BS in a sea of journalism. The fact she is being outdone by everyday YouTubers is profoundly hilarious. I don't think it's hilarious because there's still people reading it. That's the part that bothers me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Emily, I hope Rob knows that his venting helps extract a lot of pent-up frustration we have when we read these during the day. Real, Trooper, Law, and Lumber. I had frustration. Ask Ian how frustrated I was this morning when I read that article.
8 out of 10. There was some ranting.
I texted him like a rant, and then I sent him a link, and I was like, that's the wrong link. I was too mad. I forgot the right link and had to send it again. This is the calm version of explaining this. Professor of Logic, I can't sing like Trufflehound, but here's a poem. Roses are red, violets are blue. If Taylor Lorenz doesn't like you, she'll dox you too. That's a good tune. Leanne G, thank you very much. Mainstream media, we are the only reputable source. Also, mainstream media puts fake Jason Momoa video up as legit statement. Thank you, LA Times. Yes. One of the funniest moments I've ever seen. Crazy Cat Queen. Already covering Taylor Lorenz is like rewarding a bully with negative attention. Or a yappy dog when she barks. I can say that because my Chimmy does that. I'm not going to call her a yappy dog. I'm going to say that that we can outdo the reporting that she is giving. Cryptid Addiction XX. As long as her name is spoken, she has attention. Well, we're going to move away from that. Moffat on money. Thank you, Rob. Back at you. Agree completely on Taylor Lorenz.
We'll just call her Voldemort.
Appreciate you and your encouragement / content. Moffat, keep making your stuff, buddy. Getting better with every video. Keep doing it. I love seeing it. I love Nick Loss has done a channel. T in Tennessee does a channel. I love all you guys getting out there and making content. It's fantastic. This is not competition. This is a community where people can, you have stuff to bring to the table, and bring your forte, man. It's fantastic. Sherry Dennis, thank you very much for the super sticker. Christy, Ty, Edwards, thank you all for everything you do. I'll be DMing you both on Twitter early next week about something on an exciting project I'm working on for a good cause. That sounds wonderful. Oh, okay. That sounds like a project, like a shop project. I'm all for it. Okay, so do we want to get to actual coverage of actual stories of things that took place this week?
Nah.
No? We want a break? We can do a quick break.
I'm just being snarky.
No, here's a quick break. So for those of you in the chat who enjoy, let's see here. Oh, Soupy Thing. Soupy Thing. For those of you in the chat who enjoyed the funny commentary, let's see how some of us like to hang TV mounts on the wall. Yes, I know. I'm going to get commentary here.
Wait.
Hammering. Hang on. I'm gonna...
Triggers. You just triggered. Oh, you.
Yep.
The amount of triggers.
Hang on. There we go. That would be a TV mount, everyone, and that would be a nail with a hammer.
That's not a nail. That's a bolt.
Well, oh, yeah, it is. Oh, my gosh, that's threaded. I thought it was a nail.
Nope.
No.
A nail, I'd forgive. Like, it's stupid, but it's at least viable.
No. Oh, no. Oh, no. I wonder what
it's people are saying it's a screw. It's a bolt.
That's a threaded bolt. Okay, let's see what the comment section looks like, because I had to go through that because there was the audio there, and now there's no more music. So let's see what the comments have to say.
The amount of triggers you just triggered. Oh, I cannot wait to get to these comments. Look, mine drills 100 holes in the wall to find a stud, and I bought a stud. I just say I'll ask my dad. All of a sudden, he jumps up and he does it. No. Shown this to my wife, and she thought nothing wrong. Me hanging everything in my house, and nothing is falling yet. Handy manny. Looks great. Use thumbtacks. They work better. Oh, my Lord. Go on and place a few pillows under that TV so you get a second chance. Ma'am, I think that is a twisty nail, not a...
That's Runkle's point. That's Runkle's point. Oh. Okay. Do we feel a little bit better? I think so. No? Yeah, I feel better.
That's so terrible.
Here, Runkle, I'll give you one just for you. Hang on. This one was sent to me by someone on my Discord.
The fun thing is that my wife and I managed to hang our TV without any issues, and it's still up.
Congratulations. Test of marriage passed.
Yep.
Okay.
Theodore, where's Chippy? Fifi, where's Chip?
There's a whole cat. That cat's like, let me live my life.
Theodore, where's Chippy? Fifi, where's Chip?
See, the thing is, the cat was perfectly happy in there.
He was like, I have no problem.
Cat's like, why did the worm stop?
Yep. And then for those of you who follow Congress, I'm not going to comment on it, but oh, yeah, facts. There's no song to explain this shit. Yep. Okay. Dude, let's talk FTX. So I don't know if you've been following any of the FTX stuff that has happened of late, but oh my wordy word. We have some things to talk about, folks. So where do we want to start? I think the bankruptcy is probably the best place to start. Actually, you know what? No, the conviction and sentencing is probably the best place to start. So Sam Bankman-Fried, not conviction sentencing, sorry. The plea itself. Sam Bankman-Fried pled to a specific charge today not today, January 3rd. Come on, Rob, get your shit together. This is the minute entry from the plea. So January 3rd, so on Tuesday of this week, minute entry for proceedings held before Judge Lewis A. Kaplan. Arraignment as to Samuel Bankman-Fried. Lists all the counts. Arraignment and initial conference regarding Sam Bankman-Fried before Honorable Lewis A. Kaplan held. Defendant Samuel Bankman-Fried present with attorneys Mark S. Cohen and Christian R. Everdell. AUSAs, the assistant U.S. attorneys, Danielle R. Sassoon, Nicholas Ruse, and Andrew Rohrbach present. Defendant arraigned on the indictment and entered a plea of not guilty. The letter application dated 1/3/2023 to redact names and identifying information for certain bail sureties was granted by the court without prejudice to any application to release the names and addresses unless otherwise ordered. Any such application shall be made by motion no later than 1/12/2023. Well, that's interesting. We'll circle back to that in a second. Trial scheduled to begin October 2nd, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. That is now my law firm calendar. That is now blocked off as a full week that I will not be practicing law. Then continuing on until we get towards the end of this.
They're going to end up like
pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have a week off to sit there going like, well, I guess I'll explore scotches today.
Oh, chat is mad at me. Chat, I'm sorry. I'll do it again. There.
One more time just to be sure.
Y'all love the swoop. Bail modified to add the condition. I like this part. That the defendant be prohibited from accessing or transferring any FTX or Alameda assets or cryptocurrency, including assets or cryptocurrency purchased with funds from FTX or Alameda. With FTX defined to include FTX.com, FTX US, FTX Digital Markets, and all affiliated subsidiary and successor entities, and Alameda defined to include Alameda Research and any affiliated subsidiary or successor entities. So that part was a surprise to Sam Bankman-Fried. From reports within the courthouse, his attorneys kind of balked at it, and the judge was like, is this really going to be a problem? And the attorneys were like, and the judge said, okay, it's a condition of bail. So two big things come out of this little minute entry. So one hearing that was the first hearing and first appearance for Sam Bankman-Fried in the Southern District of New York ends up yielding two very, very important things. First, we have the fact that surety names are being withheld. Now, why does that matter to any of us? Why do we care about that? Because
we choose
some
violence.
of you, we do. Well, no, we don't choose violence. Why did I say? I said that too quick. I said that too quick. Because
speak for yourself, I totally do.
I know you do. Well, no, you don't. Not always. Bail disposition. Where was that? Where's the bail? Where's the bail? Where's the bail? Give me the bond. Give me the bond. There's the bond.
Oh, and I got to schedule a thing.
You schedule that thing. You schedule it really well.
What's a good time? 5 o'clock my time, which would be 7 your time.
Am I there?
If you'd like to be.
Is the thing something I'd like to be present for?
It is a birthday stream.
Yes. So 7 o'clock, or you said what time? 5 your time, 7 o'clock my time?
Yep.
Is that on your actual birthday? I'm not going to say it, but is it?
It'll be, I'm thinking the 28th. Which is
not your actual birthday. Yeah. Done. I'll be there. Okay. So why is this relevant? Why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about this at all? I don't know. And I don't know because I don't have this pulled up. Because that's how I roll. This was the bail disposition for Sam Bankman-Fried. You guys might recall that he was let out on $250 million bond. That bond was supposed to be guaranteed by certain individuals and secured by certain property. The home in Palo Alto, that home itself was titled to the parents. However, there's questions as to how that home is actually titled and what is titled to the parents. It might be that the home itself is on a land lease, the land being owned by Stanford and the parents owning the structure. That might present a problem for the judge. We're not sure yet. We don't know what has been filed to support this condition. However, you guys will remember that when we talked about this a little while ago, there you go. Additional conditions / additional proceedings and comments. 2 non-parent sureties to signed bonds in lesser amounts to be agreed to. Well, that's funny, because that means that 2 other people have to promise on behalf of Samuel Bankman-Fried that they are going to supervise him, and that if he does not show up, that they will post all of that information. Well, they'll post that. They'll actually pay that amount, $250 million. Interestingly enough, that judge just ordered that those things be sealed upon the request by Sam Bankman-Fried. 2 people were going to post a bond to say that they promise $250 million if he doesn't show up. And the judge says, not a matter of public concern. So Inner City, where was this one? Nope, that's Mark Cohen. This is the request to seal. This is the request that resulted in the sealing of all of those documents and information. I posted this on Twitter a little bit ago. By a little bit ago, I mean this last week. And that's the exhibit to that one. Why can I not find the things I need to find? Because I can never find them. Anyways, Inner City Press has filed a request this week to essentially unseal those names. They want those names made public. And it's going to be very curious to see what comes of that, because those bonds get posted by 2 people who say that they have $250 million that they're willing to put behind Sam Bankman-Fried. And with everything that's involved, I think that the public has a bit of an interest to know who's posting that bond. So that was that story. Now, the second part of that story was that little bond modification, which I thought was very interesting. The U.S. attorney said, we want it to be a condition of his bond that he not touch any FTX property or property acquired by property that he had by way of FTX. I explained that horribly. Backtrack. If FTX gave Sam Bankman-Fried money, or if Sam Bankman-Fried used money from FTX to purchase something, the United States government requested that he not be allowed to touch it. You cannot touch it. You cannot use it. Well, they made that request on Tuesday. Reasonable. It does. And that's why the judge questioned when he was kind of pushing back against that, because, dude, this is a fraud case. The government has asked for seizure. Well, What was really great about this was that got pushed out, and I was like, why is the media not picking this information up? And they didn't. One media outlet reported on it, but not a lot. And I see Crazy Cat Queen, you're in here saying his house. No, more than that. More than that. So one media outlet picked up on it, not a lot of others did. But then this week, we had a very interesting development. And I have taken the liberty, because you guys know I'm a bankruptcy nerd. And this one goes to a certain person who...
You're a fun kind of nerd. I'm just the
I love
gaming kind of nerd.
Dude, I love this stuff. This one goes out to a certain person that works for Washington Post, who thinks that we really don't have much to add to the space because they're ahead of it. How many of the bankruptcy pleadings have you pulled down? How many of the bankruptcy hearings have you listened to? How many of the things that you've actually watched and read from the original documents filed in court?
Oh, she's going to watch your video, and then she's going to pretend like she knew all this.
Yep. And she's going to say that I got some things wrong. If I got them wrong, I got them wrong. But I'm giving you the information I have. I listened to the hearing that took place on January 4th. And what was funny was the mainstream media did not know about something that took place until this hearing actually became public. And what I did was I took the audio from that hearing, which was publicly available to everybody involved, and is out on the bankruptcy court's website. You can download it, play it for yourself. There is no restrictions on replaying it. Do I know I'm talking fast? Yes, I do.
He's excited, folks.
I am. So the image, just that's me. I wanted to give you guys something to look at while we listen to the audio, because the audio was kind of fun. Let's see if we can hear it. Can you let me know if you can hear it when I play?
I'm not sure we've got audio yet.
Can you hear that?
Nope.
Dang it. I'm going to do it this way. I've had to do this so many times. I hate this. The audio plays in my earphones, headphones, earphones, but not on screen. There we go.
Off.
Better?
And as I mentioned at the beginning,
it's quiet.
It's quiet.
Yep.
I see that Mr. Zacchia is here from White and Cake. We
for the litigating, we've also been negotiating, and I think that if we could have, obviously your Honor's schedule is what it is, but
so this is the hearing audio. We're going to go to.
Hope to come back to the court with a agreed path forward, but I did want to update you about. It may be mooted, it may not, depending on.
So it's moving the hearings. Give me 1 second. I'll get us to that right minute.
Make sure the court was aware of that.
Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right.
Your Honor, Chris Hansen, may I be heard for a second?
Go ahead, Mr. Hansen.
Yes, Your Honor. So this is Chris Hansen with Paul Hastings, proposed counsel to the Official Committee of Unsecured Creditors. I just want to introduce myself and my partner, Ken Pasquale, who's on as well, and inform the court that we have been involved in the discussions with the debtors and the JPLs, and we are also hopeful that we can get to a resolution.
7:44. Okay, hang on.
Before we go to that, I just want to make sure.
It's being filed now will be constructed.
JPLs, and we are also hopeful that we can get to a resolution.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Hansen. All right. What else do we have?
Your Honor, sorry, one other detail. Given next week's hearing set for the 13th, Your Honor had set a deadline for our reply of today. One of the reasons we wanted the extra time is we don't think further pleadings being filed now will be constructive. So if we could roll that deadline to next week as well, which I see, whatever works for the court, I would see.
Bold move to be missing your deadline and asking for an extension on the day of.
So any objection, Mr. Bromley?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Just as Mr. Zacchia was speaking, a fire alarm started in our courtroom here. So I didn't hear it. I'm sure I'm okay with it, but if you could just repeat the date, I appreciate that.
The 11th. He's looking to move the date to the 11th. For
that is fine. Okay. Yeah, 1 week. That's fine, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
That's fine with me as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I know we have to schedule the trustee's motion to appoint an examiner. That's another one that we need to talk about. And before we go to that, I just want to make sure I don't forget this because I've forgotten.
Okay, hang on. Let me get Sarah. I'll get Sarah. Hang on.
Absolutely be enough.
All right. Thank you. Anything else for the
debtors? I'm jumping in because I have gotten a message from a Department of Justice attorney.
Here we go.
Who's on and has his hand raised.
Here we go.
Trying to make a statement.
Yeah.
So DOJ makes an appearance in the bankruptcy case. And I don't have closed captions for this. They do not actually allow the closed captioning, but this is just the audio. So the DOJ shows up at the bankruptcy hearing, a surprise to everybody. No one knew they would be there. And let me see if pretty much. Let me see if I can do this. See if this might help.
Or to address the court, and he can't jump in. So I just wanted to do that.
Yes, I do see it now.
As a convenience to him in the court.
Yep. Go ahead, Mr. Shapiro. You can turn your camera on as well.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm trying to turn the camera on, but for some reason it says that the host has disabled it.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I'm not a cat.
Because we had a bunch of people had the cameras on at the beginning of the hearing, but we'll see if But if not, go ahead in the meantime. I can
I'm not
hear
a
you.
cat.
Yes, yes, Your Honor, and thank you for hearing me. I'm appearing on behalf of the criminal prosecutors for the United States, both in the Southern District of New York and the Criminal Division, and we wanted the court to know, in connection with in the FTX digital case, in connection with the JPL's motion for provisional relief, that certain assets have been seized. We didn't want the court to just read that in the papers that were filed by Silvergate or Moonstone. So if Your Honor has any questions about the accounts or cryptocurrency that's been seized, please certainly let us know. We're trying to work things out with the parties, but if we can't, those matters will be heard at a later date. There is another scheduling matter as well in connection with the FTX trading matter that's on the court's docket for January 20th. That stay motion relates to...
So that one, and bring Ian, let me bring Ian back up to normal because I turned us down so we could kind of hear it. DOJ makes an appearance at the bankruptcy case, a surprise appearance that no one saw them coming to do. And it got reported and that Sam Bankman-Fried was objecting because certain assets were seized. And the DOJ said, yeah, we seized some stuff. And the stuff they seized was $450 million of Robinhood shares that Sam Bankman-Fried had in an account that was in his, well, it was an entity that was owned by him.
Womp womp.
So that judge coming in, modifying that bail, holy crap. And let me talk about what that is. So in the bankruptcy case itself, what you have is the bankruptcy trustee. Pull these up so we've got them. BlockFi. And then the coup de grace. So the bankruptcy trustee, the entities that these people owned were remarkably complex. And you guys might remember that when we laid out everything that had set up their enterprise, it was corporation under corporation under corporation, all that craziness. Well, the trustee in the US case filed a motion to extend the automatic stay to entities that were not directly owned by FTX, including other entities that Sam Bankman-Fried had a role in. This is that motion. The motion itself was filed by the U.S. trustee, or the trustee for the U.S. enterprises, asking for the order that basically would extend the automatic stay to a bankruptcy that was being done by BlockFi. So BlockFi filed an adversary proceeding. BlockFi had Robinhood stock that was owned by Sam Bankman-Fried's secondary entity. This is really confusing, guys. I know it is. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to explain it the best way I can. BlockFi is in active bankruptcy in New Jersey. Part of that bankruptcy is the question over assets that BlockFi was administering Robinhood shares. Those Robinhood shares were owned by an entity that is an extension of Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried had access to that. He was 90% owner of this entity. So BlockFi was saying that we own this property. FTX was saying, no, you don't, because it was purchased with FTX money. So there was a fight between the two entities as to who owned it. Well, the third party in that was Mr. Bankman-Fried, who was relying on his ability to withdraw those funds from BlockFi and via that Robinhood stock. That was an asset that he thought he had disposable to him. Well, in the middle of these two entities fighting in the bankruptcy case, and when I say fighting, Runkle was with me when I started going through some of these pleadings. They are fighting between who owns and who has the right to administer this remarkable asset, millions upon millions of dollars. And in the middle of that, the DOJ comes in and says, nope, we're going to take this big chip off the table. And the US DOJ came in and seized everything. They seized every account that had money in it that Sam Bankman-Fried could have any connection with whatsoever. They froze all of it. So you heard them talking about continuing stuff out to the 20th because they all agreed they couldn't do jack until they figured out what the hell was going on until the 20th, when they could wrap their heads around what had just happened and see if they could still go forward with any of their arguments, because the US DOJ seized everything. So yeah, the Lauren, I see this here. Perfect. The DOJ was like, yoink. Yep. Sam Bankman-Fried just had the rug taken out from under him. And what was funny about it was this is a coordinated effort by not just the DOJ, but this is the DOJ working in conjunction with the FTX US trustees to basically make sure that all of those assets are still available for distribution at the end. So this starts getting reported later in the week, where essentially these Robinhood shares end up being disputed. Now, people were asking, and this is why this is really kind of interesting. People were asking, how is Mr. Bankman-Fried affording his attorneys?
He might not be anymore.
Yeah. How is he affording his attorneys? Because he had money in wallets that were not FTX wallets. He had money elsewhere, including this asset, this $450 million of stock. So the US DOJ came in and said, not so fast. And they tipped their hat when they said on January 3rd, Tuesday, they said, we want to modify the bond. We want the bond to say he can't touch it. And then next day they said, the bond's not enough. We're going to seize it. So the piggy bank just got pulled away relatively quickly. Yeah. So now, is Sam Bankman-Fried going down without a fight?
God, I hope not. That wouldn't be any fun.
It's no fun if he does, right? So
got to see him take a whole lot of punching before that happens.
There's punching to come. And let me pull this article up, because this article does a good job of explaining what I just tried to.
Punching to comes now.
Oh, gosh.
You know how much I hate that.
I know. Regulators, here we go. Regulators seize millions of Robinhood shares from FTX. Sought by FTX creditors and BlockFi, shares held by collapsed firm have now been confiscated. So lays out the points. These two entities are fighting over it. Feds come in and say, not yours, mine. The U.S. Justice Department said in a Delaware bankruptcy court hearing, you guys just heard it, that it had taken custody of $450 million in Robinhood shares from FTX. In May of 2020, then CEO Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX co-founder Gary Wang formed a holding company. Well, that's shocking. A holding company. What is it holding? Scroll through, make sure I've got certain things. I do. Emergent, to purchase shares in a publicly traded Robinhood platform. In an affidavit filed in December, Bankman-Fried and Wang said they used the funds taken in loans totaling $546 million from Alameda Research to buy the shares. There's the tracing. A lawyer for FTX noted in the hearing that the owner of the shares was unclear. They're still fighting over it. A likely claimant to the shares, besides FTX creditors, includes BlockFi. BlockFi says the shares were promised to it by Bankman-Fried, and the now bankrupt company has sued to obtain the pledged shares. Ooh, there's a word we like.
Were they donated or pledged?
They were pledged. The seizures that have taken place were ordered by the court in connection with the criminal actions in the Southern District of New York with respect to Mr. Bankman-Fried, Ms. Ellison, and Mr. Wang. FTX lawyer James Bromley, you didn't hear him, he was later in the hearing, said on Wednesday, these things are being seized, have to do with the Robinhood stock. Bromley cited ongoing litigation surrounding the collapse of FTX and subsequent Chapter 11 bankruptcy of BlockFi in November of 2022, as well as proceedings taking place in Antigua and Barbuda regarding the Robinhood shares. We are obviously reserving our rights with respect to the debtors and expect that the other parties will as well, but just wanted to make sure that it was clear that the Robinhood shares that were being seized from the accounts that are not currently under the control of the debtors. So FTX wanted to extend the automatic stay. So that first pleading I showed you, FTX was saying, bankruptcy judge, please extend protection to this, which doesn't have a direct connection. Then BlockFi came in and said, no, you can't. And then DOJ said, trump card, we win, it's ours. And now everyone's pissed. Well, not everyone. One person in particular is very pissed. So let's talk about the person who is the most upset about all of this, because this part's fun. Guys, this is like litigating in front of you guys. It's so much fun. I get to play this stuff out. This is the first filing in the bankruptcy case by Mr. Bankman-Fried. Docket number 387, which was filed yesterday evening. 387 docket numbers, and this case was filed November 11th. We're after 2 hours? Not yet. Holy crap. 387 things have been filed in this case in a span of under 2 months. And it waits till docket number 387 for Mr. Bankman-Fried to show up and file something. And why does he file? Because, my word, the United States Department of Justice just took my thing.
And that applies if you're using the euphemism for thing as well.
Yeah, fair. That's a fair statement. Yeah.
Just came in with a hacksaw and we're like, we're taking that.
Yep. Samuel Bankman-Fried, 90% stockholder of Emergent Fidelity Technology Limited, Emergent, hereby submits his opposition to the FTX debtor's motion to bring back all of that Robinhood stock. Mr. Bankman-Fried respectfully requests that the stay motion be denied because the FTX debtors, FTX US, are effectively advancing an argument for a preliminary injunction but have failed to carry their heavy burden of establishing that such an extraordinary remedy is warranted. Judge, they have not carried their burden. Give me back my things.
I want it.
Oh, this is so great. God, I'm so glad I found this freaking thing.
I mean, it's great because Sam Bankman-Fried is sad.
All of it. Has the United States Department of Justice obtained a warrant to seize the assets at issue and seized such assets, footnote, at yesterday's scheduling conference, the U.S. Department of Justice reported that the government has seized or is in the process of seizing the assets. The BlockFi debtors confirmed this development in their opposition to FTX debtors' motion to enforce the automatic stay. The stay motion is moot. Despite that, the FTX debtors have not withdrawn the stay motion. As a result, Mr. Bankman-Fried is compelled to reply. Compelled to reply. We must reply, Your Honor. They have disgraced us. The FTX debtors style their request as a motion to enforce the automatic stay, as though the remedy they seek is a routine part of a bankruptcy proceeding. But the FTX debtors' request is anything but routine. The FTX debtors seek to disregard the separate existence of a corporation that is not a party to this action and encumber hundreds of millions of dollars worth of assets to which they have no legal claim. I would dispute that to my dying day.
I mean,
they have a
claim.
claim.
No legal claim.
It was reported, you have disclosed in affidavits that you borrowed money from this entity to buy these assets. That is within the clawback period. They have a claim to it, period. The remedy they seek is extraordinary and inappropriate. I differ.
Seems ordinary and appropriate to me.
Accordingly, the stay motion should be treated as a request for a preliminary injunction and subjected to a heightened standard of proof. Okay. In effect, the FTX debtors seek to encumber 56,273,269 shares of Robinhood Markets, Incorporated Class A common stock that are not owned by Alameda Research Limited or any other entity implicated in the FTX bankruptcy and are instead owned by Emergent. How did they acquire it? How did Emergent get it? Oh, we'll get there.
That's an awkward question. We don't want you asking.
Oh, gosh. Emergent's independent acquisition of the Robinhood shares, disputed, is clearly set forth in an SEC filing made by Ryan Miller, cooperating with the Department of Justice and former counsel to FTX, who does not like Sam Bankman-Fried anymore, general counsel of FTX and former partner of Sullivan and Cromwell. Ooh, that's going to get spicy in a minute, too. Mr. Bankman-Fried and Gary Wang borrowed the funds for Emergent to purchase the Robinhood shares from Alameda, and a set of loans were memorialized in 4 different promissory notes. Oh, so you're acknowledging that you took money from this company when it was bankrupt, when it did not have money to lend you. You took money from an insolvent company that did not have the ability to pay back creditors, and used it to buy things that had value. So you took value from something that was insolvent and transferred it to give yourself money. What is that? That's a fraudulent conveyance, Mr. Bankman-Fried. The FTX debtors are aware of the existence of the promissory notes, but failed to reference them in the stay motion. Is this too dramatic for you guys? I hope not. I'm enjoying this. Argument. The FTX debtors request that the court stay any act to obtain possession of the Robinhood shares is a veiled request for a preliminary injunction. It should be denied because the FTX debtors have failed to carry their heavy burden of demonstrating that they are entitled to this form of relief. Legal standard. An injunction is an extraordinary remedy which should be granted only in limited circumstances. To determine whether a preliminary injunction is appropriate, courts consider the following factors: whether the movement has shown a reasonable probability of success in the merits, whether the movement will irreparably be injured. Is that Malort? What does he drink?
That
Scotch?
is not Malort. This is, I saw Nicholas was saying that he's drinking Akavit. This is Akavit.
Ooh, okay.
So Nicholas and I are breaking out the Akavit. This is the good Akavit. So.
Oh, very nice. Whether the movement will be irreparably injured by the denial of the relief. Gee, if you take money from the entity, give it to yourself to spend on legal fees, I think they will be irreparably injured. Whether granting preliminary relief will result in even greater harm to the non-moving party, and whether granting preliminary relief will be in the public interest.
He's saying, I'm going to be real sore if you grant this.
What he is saying is that he needs these funds to mount a defense against the criminal charges.
Mm-hmm.
The balance of, here we go. This one. This is the Cry Me the River paragraph. Right here. Here we go. The Cry Me the River paragraph. You guys, let's get the music right, because we're going to cry a river for Sam Bankman-Fried real quick. Let me see. No. Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Could be sadder. No, that's too happy.
That's too happy. Too happy. I think the Night Dragon's better. That's too poppy.
Yeah, I think this is their best option of the StreamYard options.
Yeah. The balance of the equities weighs in favor of refusing to enforce or extend the stay. Alienating this property from Emergent will render it inaccessible to Mr. Bankman-Fried, who is presently facing potential criminal liability. Mr. Bankman-Fried requires some of these funds to pay for his criminal defense. Quote, a financial inability to defend oneself has serious consequences and is irreparable. End quote. In Ray Adelphia Commercials Corporation. Conversely, the FTX debtors face the only possibility of economic loss.
I mean, to be fair, he is kind of right about he's looking at jail for the rest of time, and the FTX debtors are looking at only economic loss, which is, millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Are you kidding me? How does this math work?
And, for a lot of these people, this is like their retirement savings. So, this is the difference between them retiring, comfortably or retiring in poverty. Yeah.
Oh, CMS, thank you for the super chat. Ian, the Gundies have a great pic of you on their website. When was it taken? Ian, if you can give me a second, explain the Gundies. What's the Gundies? Why are we voting for you? And what is this?
So the Gundies is an online, they choose who the nominees are, and they do so on a whole bunch of criteria. But after that, it is entirely viewer votes. So you guys can vote for me at thegundys.com. And I'm nominated in 2 separate categories. The first one is Breakout Creator of the Year. So that's, an option. And the second one is Voice of the Second Amendment. And you should totally vote for me under the Voice of the Second Amendment, because the Voice of the Second Amendment would be hilarious if a Canadian wins. I think that would be the funniest thing. And I will show up wearing a Canadian flag suit, because that'd just be hilarious. So I'm going to try to be as, as Canadian as possible. And I see somebody saying, congrats, Runkle. I haven't won at this point, and I probably won't, but you should still vote for me. I'll try to pull up the link here and drop it in the chat so that you guys can, hit that. In terms of the picture, I don't know where they got this picture from. I know it's floating around online. And the reason why it's floating around online is probably because of this scammy site that, yeah. However, this picture was taken at a party. Are you able to bring up the, here, I'm just going to drop it in our private chat just so you can see it here.
Yeah.
Are you able to bring up this picture of me?
Yep. 1 sec.
And then we'll also get to see if you've been doing your voting.
I haven't. You can't call me out on that. I've been prepping for this. Let me see. Change this, remove this.
It might be. Is it my YouTube profile picture? I don't think it is.
That is.
Oh, crap. So it is. I was short on pictures when I did that. Yeah. That's the Gundies there. Yeah, you got to make an account. It's because they limit you to 15 votes a day, which is 1 vote in each category. But yeah, you can vote for me in either of those 2 categories. Fun story about this picture. I was about 8 drinks in at a party. So that expression and the tilted glasses I'd had a few. So
I can see that. I'm going to post this in the chat. If you want to vote for Ian for the Gundies, I'm posting this. I'm going to pin it, and I will short order put Ho's pin back up later on in the stream. But yeah, you guys can go and pin that.
Somebody was asking what Better Ian, which is Ian McCullum, also known as Gun Jesus, is nominated for. I'm not sure.
Well, that's a name.
So yeah, he's Ian from Forgotten Weapons, also known as Gun Jesus. I met him very briefly, and I got to tell him I really appreciate your content, and also the fact that because of you, I get to say that I am the second best gun channel run by a guy named Ian. Which is, getting specific. So
you have short hair in this.
I do.
You guys, I have seen Ian's driver's license. It's funny.
With the short hair.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
So yeah, it's I'm hoping I win because it'll be so funny. I will fly out there just to accept that award just because, oh my God, so funny.
I just pinned the link so the chats can go vote 15 times a day.
Yep, and it runs until the end of the month. So vote early, vote often, and hopefully it'll be funny as heck if I win.
I love it. That's fantastic. The pin didn't work. It's still Hogue. Hang on.
I was not bald in that picture. I was just, you can see my hair behind the glasses.
There we go. Now it's pinned.
Those glasses were, they ended up bent and chipped and abraded before I finally replaced them. And I still miss that set of frames.
Sorry, I want to look something up. Guys, go vote for Ian, please. If you don't mind, that would be fantastic. We need that. Please do.
And I see somebody saying they're not a gun fan. Vote anyway. So long as you're an Ian fan. And if you're not an Ian fan, then you can vote for someone else. Tactical Girlfriend is also out for Breakout Creator of the Year. And
wait, there's a creator called Tactical Girlfriend?
Tactical Girlfriend, yep.
Tactical Girlfriend.
And quite frankly, I think she deserves the Breakout Creator of the Year more than I do. So that's an option if you don't like me. I will totally shill as, there's another option for you.
So back to the topic that we were discussing. People have asked me, like, why do we care? Who are the victims? And what is going on? Like you said, it's just money, right? Just money. Well, the victims are so.
Somebody got you a book you need to read because it's got some great quotes.
I know, and you told me that. I know. I didn't. I also texted you back, and you were like, "You have the book." I said it's on my coffee table for the second I have a few hours. And you said, "So you'll read it next decade."
I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
It was a fair criticism, and I took it as it was intended to be relayed.
I mean, it's just the fact that we're lawyers, right? And
it kind of is. I wish I had so much more time.
Yeah, no, I'll give you sort of the line or sort of the bit there. So I guess I'll reveal sort of what I got you for Christmas here to the chat. I bought him Going Postal by Terry Pratchett because it's one of my favorite books ever. Not just because it's a Terry Pratchett book, but it's a really good Terry Pratchett book. It's on my shelf here somewhere, but my shelf has a lot of stuff, unless my wife moved it with the other Terry Pratchett books, which is entirely possible. But the main character is this con artist who gets drafted to lead the post or to run the post office. And so it's kind of this unusual thing, but he gets assigned a probation officer who is a golem because, of course, he can't escape the golem. It'll track him down at some point. It's a fantasy book, right?
Okay.
So he's trying to defend himself to this golem, who, of course, is a golem and therefore has no sense of humor and just has no, is not putting up with his bullshit. And basically he says, like, I never killed anybody. And the golem says, by my calculations, you've killed about 13 and, a quarter people. And he's like, what? And he's like, you stole people's life savings that they worked for. You took their lifespan by that. You had people who died early because they were going to be retiring and then they had no money. And they, so he's like, so that little bit is just this golem going, nuh-uh, you had an impact, man. You can't. And I really like that scene because it's, it's completely calling him on his bullshit. It's just saying, you are trying to tell yourself this story about how you're not so bad. Yes, you are. Yes, you freaking are. And, it's sort of, he's got no real response to that other than like, so read the book. It's such a good book. So
actually, I'm more sold on that than anything. Like that's going to get picked up. I might pick that up tonight to start it. Is it an okay thing to start a little bit late, or is it one of where I need to devote full attention?
I mean, it's sort of done in a humor fantasy style, so you can pick it up, you can put it down. It's not gonna, it might end up gripping you harder than you expect it to, so that's potentially a risk. So, yeah. But I really like the books. So, and if you don't, that's fine too. And somebody's saying, what's the name of the book? Going Postal by Terry Pratchett.
It is a book. It's not a recommendation. So when people are asking how many victims there are and why are we talking about all of this?
No, that book is legal advice.
No, it's not. So reported by Reuters, U.S. prosecutors launch a website for Bankman-Fried alleged fraud victims. Well, why'd they do that? The U.S. government,
so many.
Yep, plans to launch a website for victims of FTX cryptocurrency exchange founder Sam Bankman-Fried's alleged fraud to communicate with law enforcement. In court papers filed on Friday, federal prosecutors in Manhattan asked U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan for permission to use the website to notify victims rather than contacting each individually. FTX could owe money to more than 1 million people, making it, quote, impracticable to contact each, the papers said. Federal law requires prosecutors to contact possible crime victims to inform them of their rights, including the rights to obtain restitution, be heard in court, and to be protected from defendants. Kaplan has yet to rule on the request. He already has, but the website has already gone live on Friday.
They should totally impose a no contact with anybody who might be a victim.
It's up. Here's the website. U.S. DOJ, Southern District of New York. United States versus Samuel Bankman-Fried. If you believe that you may have been a victim of fraud by Samuel Bankman-Fried, aka SBF. See, even the DOJ is referring to him as SBF. Please contact the victim/witness coordinator at the United States Attorney's Office using the email address listed below for assistance in verifying whether you are a victim in the case. Sets out all the counts and says, please contact this person. There are so many victims that the DOJ could not contact them directly. They had to make an effing website so that people could find them on their own.
Yep.
Y'all, you cannot make this up. Like you just.
And somebody in the chat is saying, I think only Americans can vote for you. Nope, they let me do it.
Yep. I'm not a fan of Mr. Bankman-Fried. Did you all figure that out yet?
I mean, his hair is, I think him and Viva have the same hair.
I have no problem with Viva's hair.
So we'll cut him a break on the hair.
Okay.
Everything else about him. So basically you could shave the hair off and then save the hair and then throw the rest of him into the trash.
It's not small because the BlockFi goes under because BlockFi is struggling. FTX goes under, which brings down everybody else, everyone that was invested in crypto. And the funny thing is FTX. So one of the things that was discussed during that hearing that we discussed last week, if you might remember, there was a certain sponsorship agreement, right? Remember that one?
Yep. I mean, there's lots of them.
There was, but the one that I was talking about was the gaming agreement, League of Legends.
Yep.
League of Legends had sponsored Samuel Bankman, FTX, to the tune of, I think, $12 million a quarter. For spots.
League of Legends? I could be your new sponsor. Oh, wait, no, they want the 12 million. I could take 12 million.
League of Legends was sponsored FTX, and FTX had secured spots and they were promoting and they were doing all this stuff, and League of Legends spent out all of that money. And the thing is, they're under contract with FTX. They cannot breach that contract, even though FTX is in bankruptcy. Same with the Miami Heat. League of Legends was in that court hearing today, or on yesterday, 2 days ago, fourth.
This is just such a weird thing because you're getting like such a rogues gallery of people who need to show up and be like, so we also are being harmed by this. You know, here's who you have. You have League of Legends, you have the Miami Heat, you have different broadcast entities, you have cities, the city of Miami, you have different entities, BlockFi, every freaking character is showing up in this bankruptcy case. The fact that it's not being covered like wall to wall is shocking to me because of how much money is out there. Then you have the separate lawsuits for fraud against everybody that was promoting FTX. And League of Legends, the reason I mentioned this, they were on the call on Wednesday. And the court hearing, the debate was the judge had to push off their motion because they had to have time to respond. And there was no objection yet to their motion, which was let us out of this contract so that we can go get another sponsor. And the judge was like, I have to give people the required notice period. I have to push it to the end of the month. And League of Legends was like, I get that there are court notices here, but for every day that we push this off, like we are in the middle of a tournament. We have to have that spot open for FTX. We are losing millions of dollars. This is a good whiskey.
Good.
And it's Canadian.
Oh, I pulled out. That was what I ran to go get. I grabbed a wine and I grabbed it in honor of Mr. Hogue.
Do epic shit.
Yep.
Nice.
And what's really cool is that little wine splash. That's not part of the label. That was in my cellar. A bottle above it was leaking. So it just gave that epic splash. Like, so I need to take a picture of that. That's so much cooler, right?
I actually think you should send it to them and say, this is what happened. And you should make this your new logo.
Yeah.
Because it looks so much better.
Yeah. You need to fix this to make it that.
Maybe I should. So I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I've got a project on the go. It's gonna be a long-term project, but to make a hot sauce. And so that's on the go. Maybe I should name a hot sauce Reasonable Minds Could Differ in homage.
Yeah. And I want to pull up 2 chats that I saw that were actually, I really wanted to talk about these and in order. 1, why do you think there isn't more attention on this, Rob? And let me pull up the other one. I see this covered on major news channels, but rather than blaming SBF, they're blaming opposing political parties.
Yep. I mean, the thing is he was real smart about giving money to everybody.
It's the same answer.
Now all the politicians are able to point fingers at each other and be like, you took money from this. Everybody took money from this guy.
I mean, y'all remember, so after the financial crash of 2008, the bailouts, every single politician kind of said, it's not our fault. And we're not going to blame each other because there's too much blame to go around. And kind of a deal was passed. We're going to bail out the banks and we'll allow each other to talk shit about the banks, but no one's going to point fingers at each other, right? And that's what you're seeing here with this case. It's not being talked about because he has too much money invested in the wrong place or in the right places. Too many people took money from this guy. The New York Times has gone out and given him puff piece after puff piece after puff piece.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, like, the legacy media talking about this are missing out about how they got clowned on this repeatedly, talking about how this guy was just the, this guy is the greatest person ever. Look at how he's such a, they're talking about him like he's the billionaire philanthropist, where he was actually the, the thief. So, yeah.
I mean, and there's a reason we don't trust legacy media anymore. And this is part of it.
Yep.
Y'all aren't covering something that's this big.
Or not covering it well.
You're giving us a single article that gives us some of the facts, but not the real facts. Like, for example, did you really tell us that the bond was modified? Did you give us the indication that there might be more money out there that he was going to go for? No. Like, how are you missing every single fact? Here's a good one. Let me see. Here's a good one. Share the tab to give you an example of some of the puff pieces. This was published by the New York Times, which I think I have they're not media anymore. They are what they are. Let's zoom in. New York Times, in the Bahamas, a lingering sympathy for Samuel Bankman-Fried. Residents that there have generous views of the disgraced founder who has been accused of misusing billions of dollars in customer funds. This was an article that was published on December 26th, the day after Christmas. So you know what's a good time to go out and talk about how someone defrauded others out of millions of dollars? The day after Christmas. Great idea. Wonderful.
Jingle bells.
Good job, New York Times. There's popular reggaeton phrase, money can't done, meaning that fabulous wealth makes its own rules. In the Bahamas in recent months, it's become a gleeful reference to the once high-flying resident Sam Bankman-Fried. From Washington to Wall Street, Mr. Bankman-Fried is now persona non grata. Politicians, investors, and cryptocurrency types all but compete to declare most vigorously how little they think of Mr. Bankman-Fried, the fallen founder of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX. Not so in the Bahamas, where Mr. Bankman-Fried lived for the past year in a lavish gated community on the western shore of North New Providence Island near the nation's capital, Nassau. Few here predicted that he would spend his final week on the island farther inland to the east in a neighborhood home to high crime and shacks inside perhaps the Caribbean's most notorious prison. I think he had a good heart, said Shemeka Moss, a Nassau school administrator. Miss Moss was shopping on a recent afternoon at the beauty supply shop a few blocks from Fox Hill Prison, where Mr. Bankman-Fried was held a week before he was extradited to the U.S. on Wednesday to face sweeping fraud charges. He's Bahamian, she added, as part of the explanation for her sympathies. This entire piece goes on to explain the effective altruism that this man gives and how the Bahamas still loves him. Are you kidding me? And you wonder why. You wonder why. And you write articles bashing alternative media.
Yep.
Shame on you guys. Shame on all of you. And by the way, this citizen journalist and the other one next to me, my correspondent, my foreign correspondent, this citizen journalist and his foreign correspondent also happen to be licensed attorneys. So you think we might have something to add to the conversation that you might be missing? Just saying. Remove head from sphincter. Oh, can I say it yet? Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. Good God. That was like a reading rant. I didn't even know what that was. What happened? I blacked out. Okay. All right. Let's catch up. Got super chats, and then we're going to get out of here. I'm going to get out of here before 1 a.m. That's my goal. I'm going to stick to it.
I've got to record a video about the open game license crap going on.
You are free to jump off anytime, my friend.
Oh, no, I'm sticking around. Just, you know me, I'm going to be up until like 4 a.m.
Fair.
After this, I'm probably going to record a video and then probably going to go do some leather work.
We have the funniest sleep schedule. It's so weird. There's a group chat of
somebody in the chat was like, Runkle, where do you live? Your schedule makes no sense to me. I'm like, you have no idea. My schedule makes no sense to anybody. I actually think it was good prep for when we were in Virginia, because like the schedule in Virginia was such a weird, like, you know, go to the courthouse in the middle of the night, sleep at the courthouse, wake up, go to court, like be in the courtroom, leave, like stream from the exit, leave, stream from the house, sleep for a few hours, wake up, go to the courthouse again. That's a weird schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I've been there. Like, it was just kind of like, okay.
And then mix in work. Like, I have trial next week on Wednesday. Like, I have trial. So yeah, I have other work I have to do too. So, and so do you. You have hearings. You have bond hearings you jump off of stream for. Like,
yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm jumping on sort of in a break. But yeah, you just sort of have to roll with things, like, or you've got a trial or something. It's like, okay, you just do what you got to do. And I see Scott mentioning at the courthouse, some of us were sleepwalking. Yeah, I mean, I sort of famously breezed past somebody I shouldn't have breezed past because I just didn't even notice they existed. I was so tired. I'm just like trying to stay awake. And so, yeah.
It's wild. Secret McSquirrel, what is the sleep? The sleep that we speak of is something you should be getting more of. But then again, you're going to come and yell at me too. So all's fair. Okay. Bop it. Thank you very much. F&F is the best part of my week. I have grown to love this show. It's been a lot of fun. It's stressful, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you guys for being here. Honestly, you guys have made the show fun. Yeah, I love this. It's been a great time. The neurodivergent counselor building Harry Potter Lego sets as I start again. building Harry Potter Lego sets as I bought as a late gift to myself, as y'all help me understand legal things. Y'all are the best body doubles, and I'm super grateful for the content y'all give. Thank you very much, neurodivergent counselor. Enjoy the Legos. I like building stuff too. Mitchell Warenga, hello from NWT. Northwest Territory?
Yeah.
A great evening listening to my two favorite lawyers while working in the wood shop. I am jealous, and that is awesome.
So want to see the Northwest Territory sometime.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So.
But during the spring or summer, not during the winter. You can do the winter. I'll do the spring, summer. Crazy Cat Queen in Ian. RE, the 2-hour fireplace. Actually, there are study with me YouTube channels of quiet studying with someone on screen, though sometimes with fireplace or light music. Do y'all really want that? Like, I would create another channel.
Yeah, I feel like you'd have to.
Like a shop stream where it's just like plays music and I am muted while in the shop working. That's weird. If that's a thing, I don't know, but I'd have to create another channel.
Yeah, you'd have to check that out.
I don't have the bandwidth to do. Thank you, Crazy Cat Queen. Emma Black, I have questions. Does Ian sing the second verse in French?
They're referring to the Canadian anthem. I can.
No.
It really depends on whether they're doing, like, I just go with whatever they're doing in a particular
they were
setting
referring
to singing the
Truffle
anthem.
Hounds, to Truffle Hounds song.
I suspect it's the Canadian anthem. Because Truffle Hound's song doesn't have like a second verse in French. The Canadian anthem has a French version and an English version, but it's quite commonly sung in alternating alternating languages. And so, yeah, Uncivil at one point asked me to sing on his stream, so I did the Canadian anthem en français. And
I remember. I was there.
It was just like, all right, if we're going to sing, we're just not going to do this in English so nobody can give me crap over it.
I was in the shop. That was awesome. Marvin CZ, thank you very much. Ian, I love you, but it hasn't been Czechoslovakia for 30 years now. It's the Czech Republic.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Also,
and I should know this because I really like a gun manufacturer that comes from the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
So
it is to be excused. Also, I'm in the middle of rewatching Lawyers and Dragons and I'm recommending it to all of my friends. It honestly is, guys. It is a ton of fun. It really is a ton of fun.
It's such a mix of really like interesting characters who, and it's people who hadn't really played before and watching you guys grow into it and sort of catching up with Hogue and I who played before. But yeah, we've got this good group of people, all of whom kind of tease each other. So yeah.
That's probably the most fun. It's like playing with siblings where you just make fun of each other all the time, but it's all in good taste and it's good humor. So yeah, it's, I honestly, Alita made the comment that she would wake up and skip to the office in the mornings for L&D. It was not dissimilar. I could get off of a live stream doing FNF at like 1 a.m. and not sleep and wake up happy to do Lawyers and Dragons. So,
well, and you remember when I went to the hospital
and drove back. Oh my God.
I didn't drive back.
Yes,
I took an Uber back.
You took an Uber back, but you took an Uber back from the hospital and I was getting messages from you and you were like, I'll be there in 5 minutes. I was like, are you out of your effing mind? If you know what's funny is if you put a computer in front of Rick, he would try to do it. And I would beat him. Well, no, I wouldn't do that like physically. I would restrain him physically, but he would want to do it so bad.
For the people asking me to do a leatherwork, I will do another leatherworking stream. So
I think I'm going to announce it. I'm going to do a 1 p.m. I'm doing it now because I'm going to obligate myself to it. 1 p.m. members only in the shop. I'm going to do a question and answer.
Oh, nice.
Tomorrow I'll do that.
And it's mostly going to be me going, how do I work my router?
Well, Yeah, I have some stuff to do, and I'll clean the shop, and I'll just do a Q&A tomorrow, members only stream at 1 p.m. I think that'll just be fun, relaxed. That'll be the way that I get into the shop in a relaxing fashion.
I don't know if I'm a member.
I'll
might
I'll
be
find
excluded.
A way. I'll find a way.
Fair enough.
I'll give you access. But I have been trying to create content for the members for a while, and I've really wanted to do it because the gifted memberships, the members that are here, like I really do appreciate it. And I wanted to make content that you guys can see, even if it's on a delay. So I'm gonna try and start doing that. So I'm gonna obligate myself to that. 1 p.m. tomorrow. Got it. Reasonable Glitter Mess. What's better for Hoag's channel? Rewatch or watch videos you had not seen? Either their views. Rob, would you make a list with your collaborations on other channels? That's a long list. I did not have a YouTube channel for a long time. So I jump around whenever I was on Ian's channel last night. It was awesome.
Yep. And I mean, we just sort of jump on channels when we can.
Yeah, I will try to be better about announcing when I'm doing it. It's hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Sandra Ramirez, I'm still hoping for Rob and Peter charity tournament. With proceeds going to Hoag, it'll still be your cat. I'll still be your caddy. I'm gonna play Peter in golf. He's gonna beat me really bad, but I will.
I was gonna say, I know how this goes.
Peter's really good. Peter's good. Like, I know his handicap is good. Law and Lumber, what are the odds you guys play White Wolf's World of Darkness? It'll be fun. You get vampires and werewolves and stuff. So there's an entire vampire clan that are basically lawyers. What is that?
I could run it. So the World of Darkness, the basic premise is that it's the modern world, but that there's a bunch of sort of supernatural creatures that live in this world. And do so secretly. So, yeah, it's fun. So if you want to play a bunch of vampires who live in the modern world, yeah,
I could do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked as much at the latest edition, but like I used to play a ton of the older edition. 1 second. I'll just show you just how much I used to play this. This is a book, not a lot of... Actually, maybe you don't want to show that. The cover on it is a little spicy.
What does it say?
That's the cover.
That's not bad.
It's at least a little spicy.
That's fine.
But yeah, this is the Ghouls book. I also somewhere here have the book for Fomor, which are another sort of, but yeah, there's different sort of subsets. There's mages, so you can have wizards, you can have vampires, werewolves, all sorts of things. But yeah, it's a good game. It's just a different style of game. I see somebody saying, Ian, that book is naughty. I didn't make the cover.
It's not naughty. It's fine.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's just a bit of a different style of game.
So. Thank you, Gamer Ducko, for giving Ian a whole new thing to think about, because now he's contemplating a lot.
The one I want to run is, and so Lindsay is asking, are there fairies? They're Changeling the Lost is all fae people. So I really want to run a game of Blades in the Dark. And Blades in the
there's my head and there's my hat.
So Blades in the Dark is a heist game. So it's all about like criminal heists played in like a pseudo-Victorian, pseudo-London in a world where it's like perpetual darkness because the sun just went out. And also outside the city is entirely like howling ghosts that will devour people. And they're kept out with a lightning fence. And it's a fun setting. It's a weird setting, but it's really designed for heist gameplay. So
there's so much. You need to educate me this separately because like I'm like in like lawyer brain, like I'm so confused.
Sometime what I'll probably like, I'm already running that Stars Without Number campaign, and that Stars Without Number campaign is intended to be something that'll have a number of sub stories in it. So right now we're running a story with Secret McSquirrel, Uncivil, Prototopics, David is in there, and Dreaded GM. They're going to sort of wrap their little arc soon, and then we'll start another arc of, a different group. And I have sort of a consistent storyline in mind that happens in a bunch of different fragments. And hopefully it'll come together to make a story, or it'll come together to make a dog's breakfast, but one or the other.
Okay.
So it would be great to have you come on and play some Stars Without Number.
I will. Anytime.
So we'll make some things happen there.
Yeah, you know that I will. Michelle Joyce, thank you very much. Hi, guys. Managed to catch you this morning at 2:25 a.m. here in the UK. Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year to you, Michelle. Kayla Shee, thank you very much. Can relate to character attachment. Just retired my first cleric with lycanthropy.
Which means the cleric is a werewolf.
Very cool. Crazy by Proxy, thank you very much for the super chat. Lindsay, thank you very much. Don't forget to go vote for Ian in the Gundies so we can see him in a Canadian flag suit to accept his voice for voice of the 2A award. The irony would be, I want that photo so bad. Guys, go vote. Oh my gosh, I want that photo so bad.
I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to get I want to get a full suit. I just don't know if I can get one together in time, but I'm going to try. Because that would be so freaking funny.
I want that photo. Dealey Moo, thank you very much. Used to work on TV. They look down their noses at anything social, calling it a fad. They are sorely, sorely out of touch. The gendered language is ridiculous. It is. Everything about that article is ridiculous. Miss the mark much, period. Terry McLean, don't forget to vote for Ian the Gunnies. He is up for being a great supporter of his favorite U.S. amendment. Yes, indeed. Nick Loss, thank you very much. Shameless plug, FTC wants to ban NCCs. I comment on my last video. If you're an employer, run. NCCs are non-compete conditions. Clauses or conditions, either way. Nick Loss is doing a YouTube channel. We mentioned that earlier. He does that commenting on his favorite thing, labor law and employment law. So please go check out his channel if you wouldn't mind.
I'm mixed on this because a lot of people get saddled with non-competes. Bullshit. I will tell you that a particular employer I applied at sent me a non-compete. And when I looked at it, I basically sent back a reply saying, I'm concerned that this might be a deceptive intelligence test. Basically saying that any lawyer who's willing to sign this is too stupid to work for you. Please confirm if this is true. But either way, I'm not signing it.
Fair.
The person I sent this CC to the person I was applying to and the partner. The partner called me in for a meeting and he's like, can I have the copy that you were given of this? Yeah, we're just taking this to Mr. Shredder right now because this is embarrassing that we sent you that.
Well, and NCCs, non-competes are bad because they are anti-competitive. Means that you have amazing talent.
But sometimes they make sense. That's the thing.
Where it's a specialized individual who gets paid a special amount of money for a very specialized thing. Yes.
Yeah.
But they are disfavored because they are anti-competitive.
But I've seen people who work like shoveling manure who get asked to sign a non-compete.
That's not crap. That's bullshit.
That non-compete is almost certainly invalid, at least where I am. But the thing is I see somebody saying, are they truly enforceable though? In a lot of cases, no, but talk to an employment lawyer if you're looking at this. The problem is that, like, do you want to get sued over your manure shoveling job?
Nope.
So that's,
Here for years, a poem. Rob and Ian never give a pass. Piss them off and they'll kick your ass.
Nice.
Pretty fair. I like that. The neurodivergent counselor, thank you very much. One of my Lego projects I just finished was a brick of Voldemort. Ooh, fun.
That's in reference to the naming aspect there.
Chaos creator. I don't think influencers would have made the same impact as John Carreyrou did in Wall Street Journal. We can thank him for bringing down Theranos. Oh, yeah, Theranos. And then there was the other reporter. Wall Street Journal was also brought down Enron. There are good ones out there. I just wouldn't put a certain person in that category. Theta Coker, thank you very much. Thanks, Rob Runkle, and all your guests that give me something to look forward to on Friday nights. Positive thoughts for Hogue. Yes, indeed. Trufflehound, as your friendly neighborhood builder, please don't hammer a screw into Gyprock gypsum. Call me, I'll do it. Oh God, no. Do not follow any of that advice. If you guys want building advice,
call Trufflehound, and Trufflehound will do an actual good job.
And then yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I'll be in the shop tomorrow answering questions. Island, thank you very much. If you need a tool guide to do something, I find asking to borrow the wrong power tool is highly effective. Yes, that will do it. Like watching a spouse or watching someone walk up the stairs with a power tool. And this is a spouse. I don't care if it's male or female. And that's your power tool. And you look at them walking in the room with your power tool and you're going, what's your plan? What are you gonna do with that?
So, Rob, I need to make a frame that will fit and hold a piece of leather. What blade should I put in my circular saw to do that?
Nope.
For the record, people, that is a router, move. Router and like a chop saw would be the tools to use for that one. Circular saw is how you accomplish this project with a couple of hospital trips to sew fingers back on in the meantime.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I will tell you the right way of doing it. Becky, thanks for whoever gifted me.
And remember, if you don't have a table saw, you can just turn your circular saw upside down and hold it between your legs to make that.
No. Bad. Don't do that. Do not do that.
For the reference, for reference, people, that is a joke. Do not.
It was terrible. It was terrible. Don't ever do any of those things. Oh my gosh. And yes, thanks to whoever gifted me a membership. Becky, thank you for the super chat. And I will say Viking Wolf by Blood has gifted 50 memberships this evening. Thank you. Moffat on Money gifted 10 memberships. Lynn DB gifted 5 memberships. Samantha Steinis gifted 5 memberships. If I am missing any, I am sorry. I do try to catch these. Thank you guys so much. So again, thank you very much for that. Robin Silver, thank you very much. Threw up a little in my mouth as you read this article and was reminded of what my Southern grandmother would say. When the fool catcher comes, you better hide in the tall grass. Oh, that's a good Southern grandma statement.
I like
applicable to Taylor Lorenz and her ilk. Robin Silver, thank you for the Southern hospitality. That was wonderful. The Lauren, thank you. Not that Lauren, but the Lauren. Thank you for the content, for being an inspiration. I'm hand cross-stitching a picture, which I've never done before. Oh, you get it. Go. That's awesome. Send me a picture of that. I want to see what that looks like. If it turns out well, I will do one for my mom, who did one for her mom years ago. See, this is the freaking thing. I don't care if you're talented or not. Like, go make something. It's something special.
And the thing is like people say, how come you're good at leatherworking? And I'll just say for the record, I'm not. There's a lot of way better people than I am. But you start out by sucking at something. And sometime I'm going to bring out the first wallet I ever made. And I will tell you, it is janky. It worked. Like, it's a perfectly serviceable wallet, but it sucked as a wallet. Like, it was just ugly. So, but you make more things and eventually you're making nice things, right? What was your first woodworking project like?
It was a long time ago, Ian.
I'm guessing that it was like an approximation of square.
It was kind of maybe close to that.
Yeah, you know, it's like you get it. You're close to square. Your dovetail joints just don't. So
Actually,
you know,
you want to see
Yeah.
the one that's most important to me. Oh, this is fun. So there's the island top that I made, right? This one, I will make it through this. I promise you. This one, Japanese toolbox. I made it for my dad. And I started this project making for him, stitched everything up, and you'll see the shop and what it looked like a while back. But I started making it for him and then he told me he got sick. And it kind of was like, no, what you were making wasn't good enough. Make it better. Make it better. And so I bought the wood, walnut, leopard wood, maple.
That's beautiful.
Hand cut the mortises and tenons, stitched it together, created the everything glued together, created it, wedged the tenons, wooden dowels to hold it, no metal in any of this. Then there's the fit. This is how Japanese toolboxes work. This is the key that goes in that holds it locked together. That's what locks it.
Damn, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where I taught myself a new skill every time. That's where that was my shop before. I taught myself a new skill and it was never going to be good enough. Ever. It was never going to be good enough. Finally gave it to him. And, oh, there he is, right back there, Pops. So
I love that project. I can tell you that if I tried to make something like that out of wood, my woodworking skills are not there. So
here's the cool part of the story that's not shared on Instagram. So he was flying from Arizona to Blakely, and we knew it was going to be his last trip. And he had his plane. He was a pilot, a single engine pilot. And he has a plane. And when he was shipping his plane up, he wanted to make sure that he had this toolbox from Arizona and shipped it to Washington. So he put it in his plane. And then he took it out of his plane. And I didn't know that at the time because I was with him on his last flight. And he actually had put it into a box and left it in the hangar where they were servicing his plane. So we fly up to Blakely Island in Washington, and he stays there, and I fly back home, and I fly back out after he's passed. And just, it's one of those horrible days. God,
Yeah.
Those of you who are grieving, just one of those horrible days. And that day, that package showed up on the island, and I opened it, and it was the toolbox. And
Man,
the coolest part is inside the toolbox, he put his own father's tools. He put his favorite tools. Oh, yeah. Dude.
Yeah, that's one of those moments that just kind of breaks you with sadness and happiness together.
Oh, happiness. You want to learn how to make something, just start.
Yeah. The other really nice thing about making something is that if you're ever struggling for a gift, making something always has significance, right? Even if it's something, so it's worth it. And a lot of people, I feel like, give up because they start making something and the first thing they make is terrible and they go, and you got to keep going.
It's amazing.
The other thing I'm going to say, I tell every person who starts leatherworking on, I tell them the same thing. I say, the first thing you make is going to suck. Put it on a shelf and keep it. Because later on, you'll come back and you'll be able to just hold up And, you know, this wallet isn't the best. Like, this is the wallet I've carried for now, I think, like 7 years. I made this wallet, and it's doing just fine. It is way better than the first wallet I made. And if I were to make another wallet, it would be even better than this. It's just, you know, you're sort of developing over time. So save it. Yeah, I see even Leonardo was a questionable painter when he picked up his first brush. I'm wondering if I've got them handy. I do. 1 second.
Go. Y'all, the best way to make something is just start. And I know there are parents in the chat. I guarantee you that if you look around your house at this very moment, you're going to have some janky thing that your kid made, whether it's something that's drawn, whether it's something they made out of clay, whether it's something they made out of wood. There is some janky object around you that is, by all objective purposes, terrible, but to you, it's the most important thing in the world.
So I've got this.
Totem.
This is a piece of artwork by Doug Fisher. And I can tell you, if you look real close, I don't know if it'll zoom in enough.
Yep.
You can see it's got some real jankiness to it. It's got some real roughness to it. This is an early piece of his. Hopefully you could still hear me when I was standing up there. It's a real early piece of his. Let me pull up. I've got another piece of his that's on my wall. And I'm just going to, what is it? Try to pull up an image of sort of his work. Give me 1 second here.
While Runkle's pulling that up, yeah. So there's a common phrase among artists: 10,000 hours. It's what it takes to master a craft, and you can't get to 10,000 before you take the first step.
Yep.
And the thing is, it's frustrating as hell. But every now and then, the reason I like that project more than anything was that became emotional. And at some point in time, what you're doing is going to have an impact on you, and you're going to want to do it more and more. It's going to have a meaning. It'll feel good, and it'll be your relaxing place. It'll be your safe place. You'll go there and you'll make it. It's whether it's painting or woodworking or leatherworking, you will need it. It will bring you peace. That's why I say go make something. It'll make you feel better. You put Ian in a leatherworking shop. You feel better. You put me in a wood shop, you feel better. You put an artist in front of a freaking easel, they feel better. You put someone with a crochet needle in their hand, they feel better. It's expressive. So yeah, but 10,000 hours, all it takes is the first step. You'll get there. And a lot of you guys, I've seen you guys have sent me some of the work you have done. And the thing is, some of y'all comment about your own work the way I comment about my own woodworking. And you're like, this is my first time back, and I'm so ashamed of it. And I was like, are you kidding me? No, like y'all are freaking talented.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to find the book. Because I've actually got a piece that's the cover of the book, and that's and I can sort of explain why, but all right, it looks like I'm having trouble finding that piece, so I'll just show you some of his more recent works. I'll just sort of show you a web page here. I'm just going to drop that in the private chat.
Update on tomorrow. Why are you guys? I am not covering a lot of these stories. Let me see. Oh yeah. Okay. This is like art/woodworking porn.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. These are different pieces laminated too. See the grain structure going different ways.
A lot of them are done with one piece of wood, but
that might be the same piece.
He does like
ooh. Oh yeah.
Like a lot of stuff he's doing with like a lathe to create the sort of external shape and then carving the internal shape. And yeah, I've got one of his pieces on my wall, and I can tell you that the later stuff looks way better than the than the early stuff, right?
10,000 hours.
So it's you don't get to be the guy who's making that stuff without being the guy who was making the early stuff. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you for that was not me bookmarking that, by the way.
He does great work. So
yeah. So Tiffany, thank you for that. I might start a Facebook page like for local makers in Northern Virginia and see if there's an interest to like get meetups together and
that would be cool.
Do different things. I think it's fun. So if anyone's interested in that, you can email me or DM me on Twitter. I'll see what I can do. But I wanted to kind of test the base on interest before I went and did that. But oh, not all the way, just a little bit. Going on. Hello. That's a shame. Thank you very much. Hello, boys. I turned my mom on to LawTube and Super Chats blow her mind. Please say hi to Kimmy. Hi, Kimmy, who finishes radiation treatment on Monday. Cheers to the completion of radiation treatment. That shit sucks. I'm so sorry. I hope that you are well in recovery and happy. Well, hi. Happy conclusion to that process and cheers to your recovery. Thank you. That's a shame. And I'm very glad that you turned your mom onto this. It's a fun thing.
Oh, yeah.
Check out Ian. He's got a lot of funny content. And runkleisms are a real thing. The Lauren, what's to keep SBF from running? The promise that someone pays $250 million on his behalf. That's what keeps him.
And I mean, at this point, I think he'd have a tough time running.
He wouldn't.
And the reason why is because he's used to a certain lifestyle. I don't think he'd be happy with where he'd run to.
Nope.
Because, I mean, honestly, in the modern day and age, if you want to succeed running, you basically have to sacrifice everything to live like a, you'd probably do best living like a homeless person. Or just, finding some really minimal existence somewhere. You think he's going to do that?
Nope.
He'd be busted trying to check into a hotel, and yeah.
Yep. It was Carol Baskin, in my opinion. I make no complaints. Hey there, you cats and kittens. Jillian Wellen, thank you very much. Happy January 6th, a.k.a. No lag na mbam, aka Woman's Christmas. Okay, I know this is the Orthodox Christmas. To all, it's an Irish tradition to appreciate the work to make your Christmas special / happen. Please consider a message to the people who made your Christmas special. I like that message. Wonderful. Everyone send a Christmas message to those around them that made their Christmas special. Ian, thank you for making my Christmas special.
Oh, well, thank you. It's I really like the sort of the group that we've found. It's
extended family in the best way.
Yes.
Dealy Moo, there's always money in the banana stand. SBF. Oh my word. That is indeed. Robin Silver, thank you very much again, my dear. Thank you. Exactly, Ian. She is a boar and an energy vampire. Hey there to Scott Cardinal. Ignore her. Okay. Ignore that person. That would be Miss Lorenz, I believe. Elise, thank you very much for that very generous super chat. How do we support Hogue? Here is how you support Hogue. 1, you go and subscribe to his channel if you have not done so already. 2, you throw his video playlists on repeat in the background while you are just doing your random things. 3, you can add super thanks to those videos if you feel so inclined and if you have the means to do so. 4, you can check out his merch store that is available through his channel. You can go to the About page and see his merch store, and you can buy all kinds of cool stuff. There's stuff designed by his daughter, stuff designed by Mrs. Hogue, stuff that I wear, stuff that Ian wears. There's a lot of really cool stuff there. And then 5, you can keep updated on his current condition. We will keep you posted on the availability of a GoFundMe or a Give Send Go as soon as that becomes available to us to spread to you. Those are the ways you can support him. And then 6, keep him in your thoughts and prayers. And that should actually be number 1. Thoughts and prayers are probably the first and most important thing you can do.
And if you're just watching his stuff quietly, leave a comment, interact with things, because they do sort of check all of that. And you get more out of, like, you know, even just like wiggle the mouse, because they've got stuff to track sort of your, so that's all helpful.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Elise, very much. Koru, thank you very much. Law and Lumber Pixie recorded an amazing video about Corey and donor organs tonight. Please send your viewers to Corey's channel. They will not be disappointed. Yes, Captain Corey, cracking the box. Those of you who are not aware, I will.
Is this going to make me sad?
It's not. It's just brief recap. Corey, Captain Corey, a individual in palliative care, had 2 heart transplants. The second one did not take. His medical condition is such that it would take too much out of him emotionally, physically, to have a third. He's in palliative care, and he created a YouTube channel with the one wish of making to 100,000 subscribers. Johnny Depp reimagined, or rather brought back, the role of Captain Jack Sparrow to promote the channel. We jumped on board as well. He got that silver play button. And honestly, the content he's been creating as far as unboxings have been really amazing. Ian Runkle, my very dear friend right over here, created a leather play button that he unboxed in one of his recent videos. It was made especially for him, for inspiring the world. The wooden play button was shipped off yesterday to go and be delivered to him. I made that in my shop. If you would not mind, go and check out his videos. Keep subscribing. This means the world to this kid. And honestly, he has been a very big shining light in a world that seems to love bringing up darkness. So please go check that channel out if you wouldn't mind. Thank you very much. And thank you, Koru, for sharing that. Nicholas, thank you very much. I've gone through a bottle of fizzy wine. Now it's, how do I pronounce it?
Akavit.
Akavit. Which brewed drunk Nick Star ongoing. Okay, here we go.
And
Jen, thank you very much. SBF has an Elizabeth Holmes moment. He lost his stocks. There's the Akavit. SBF having an Elizabeth Holmes moment. He lost his stocks. Yep. They're gone. Crazy Cat Queen. What, if any, what, if any issues will SBF have with the IRS, and much more? And how much? Because thinking about that possibly makes me giggle. I think the IRS is the least of his worries. However, they are a rectal exam that's waiting to happen. That was dark. I went there really
feel
fast.
Like SBF is kind of a walking rectal exam.
I went there. I've been hanging out with you too much. That was really quick. Okay. Sushi Unicorn, thank you very much. That's why we love that. This is why I love needle felting. I can use my frustration and stab wool. Very good to stab wool and not other things.
Yeah, no fingers. Fingers are not for stabbing.
Samantha Steinis, if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you. Good luck. Oh, that's good.
I mean, if it's good enough for everyone else, it's good enough for him. Sorry, man. You will have a lawyer. How you have that lawyer is, is still up in the air.
I will be prejudiced that I can't use the money that I defrauded people out of to pay my own high-powered attorney. Therefore, I have to face the same consequences with a court-appointed attorney, just like the rest of you people that I stole money from. Oh my gosh.
You peasants.
Oh. Okay. Going on. Thank you, Samantha. Viking Wolf by Blood. I have to jump off and finish a long paper. Have a great night, guys. I'll catch the replay, and Happy New Year. Viking Wolf by Blood, thank you very much for the super chat and for the gifted memberships that you gave to the whole community. Thank you for that. The Wanderer, thank you. My cats are watching Hogue on the other TV, confused because there's no sound. Hashtag Paw Nerds. Paw Nerds are the best. We heard Ian's earlier tonight. Theta Coker, have you sent the wooden YouTube button yet to Corey? Yep, was shipped yesterday. Yeah. I'm going to wait till he unboxes it. I did send a note to his mom. Crazy Cat Queen, Ian, or virtual reality hot sauce, because I'm guessing your hot sauce will put someone in another dimension. It might.
The default setting on that will is ideally not going to be too lethal. So hopefully it should be more accessible than just, because like some of these hot sauces that I've got here, this don't get as a starter hot sauce. It will mess you up.
Which one? Which one do you have? Which one did you pull up?
That's the Dave's Ghost Pepper Gourmet.
Oh, that was so much fun.
That one is like 700,000 Scovilles.
Is that what that was? And then what? Wait, the one chip is 2 million?
Yeah.
Lindsay, if you're still in the chat, I'm game. I can do it. I can do it.
We'll make it happen.
I can do it. Like, because you and I were talking about that. We were talking about Scott sent us hot sauces. Crystal sent me hot sauces. And by Crystal, that's what you're. Yeah, sent me hot sauces, and we've been going back and forth on hot sauce comparisons. And Ian tweeted out earlier, I went for the 70,000 and I hit the 700,000. It was the Dave's, and that Dave's does not play around. But
nope. And so when you smear the chicken through it, I had a piece of chicken that I was eating, and I just kind of smeared it through this hot sauce, thinking it was this one, which is real tasty. But I
have that one too. I haven't opened it yet.
You should. It's so good. That's what I'm going to buy more of, because But when you're expecting one thing and you get another, it's exciting.
Yeah, no, I will say that the hot sauces have been amazing. And yeah, I'm back in the hot sauce trend. So Lindsay, if you're around, I will do that with Ian. And if I wanted to ask this one question of the chat before I kept moving on, because I'd love to pull this up. Mighty Muffin, if you are in the chat, can you please either DM me or let me know if this is okay to share? Because I think that this is really cool, and I would love to share the artwork if you don't mind. So yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you, Crazy Cat Queen, very much appreciated. Stephanie Lang, SBF is the anti-Robin Hood. He steals from the poor and he gives to the rich. Yes, he does. Mama Piggy, thank you. Thank you for FNF. I needed this. Been stressed. We have been. This is a decompress stream. These are fun things we can do. Thank you. Devin, IIRC. Oh gosh, remind me what that one means again.
If I recall correctly.
I'm never going to remember that. If I recall correctly, weird sleep schedules is a potential ADHD symptom. It is shutting the brain off.
I'm long past potential.
Yeah. Thank you, Devin. Ian is on the I am setting the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. I just committed to something I'm afraid of committing to. That's what we do. That was Lindsay.
Oh yes. Lindsay's gonna make your life difficult.
For those of you not aware of what we're discussing, Lindsay sent Runkle the one chip challenge and asked me if I would like to partake on Runkle's birthday stream.
She didn't send me the one chip challenge. She sent me the Hot Ones package.
Ooh, okay. The Hot Ones package. Okay.
Yeah. So it's got 10 hot sauces, and I'm going to have to make chicken wings.
Fudge.
And
I have to eat 10 things?
Yep.
Okay. I'll still do it.
Of increasing spiciness.
Also,
Niklaus, I see you're still in the chat. Is this your brand of Akavit, or do you drink a different one?
You have to hold it up closer to the camera. We can't see. Okay. Thank you. Counter-Strike, thank you very much. Hey there, Rob. Your hat looks great backwards. I thought it was do-rag for the longest time. I'm not sure why I bring this up. This is not a do-rag. That is Beninas Creek. It's a winery in Pennsylvania that's owned by one of my very good friends' family. They were hog farmers, and they sold when Smithfield started buying up all the hog farms. And his dad started this winery. So if you are in the Pennsylvania area, you can only buy it in Pennsylvania. But please, if you wouldn't mind, I love those friends. They are two of my nieces. They are my adopted nieces. I am Uncle Rob to them. Scarlett and Natalie, they're my favorites. Holy smokes. We're just going to leave that way. I need a haircut, like bad. But yes, cheers. Thank you very much, Counter-Strike. Equality, yes to the Craft With Me videos. Y'all are okay. We can do that. Amanda Lang, I vote yes for the Body Double shop streams. That's a whole nother channel, guys. Sarah Lee, thank you. I feel bad that you are feeling stressed doing FNF. I'm not. Like, I wish you guys knew it's a good stress. Ian feels this too. When we want to be on a live stream, it's a pressure, but it's the same pressure we feel like lesser, but like going into court. Like, I like talking to you all. It's just stressful.
Or like doing a shooting competition. It's stressful, but you have fun. And after you're done, you're like, I would like to do another of those.
Yeah. I just saw how long it is. Nope, that's going back under the hat. All right. Judy, you got this. Thank you very much. I made a wooden pocket watch for my father after he got sick. And yes, I called him Pops too. 20 years ago, yesterday was when he passed. Judy, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm happy that you have that memory. Cheers to you, my dear. Jennifer Edwards, Rob, did you get the unicorn planter that I painted and epoxied for you? I know it wasn't perfect. What are you talking about? You magnificent person. This is wonderful. I just haven't put a succulent in it yet.
That is pretty cool.
Great. That is really cool. And from what you told me, this was your first attempt. That's amazing.
Nice.
Well done. Keep at it. And you signed it, which also makes it. That's why. Look, that's within reach. Everything you guys send me is within reach. It's all here. Yeah. But yes, I have it, Jennifer. Thank you. Tricution. Tricution?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Question for Runkle. My dad inherited a rare Luger my grandpa brought back from World War II. He can donate it to the War Museum in Ontario if dad is in BC. Can he? I think question. How can
he might be able to. You're going to have to, I guess, shoot me a DM on Twitter because the museums don't necessarily want everything, and they may deactivate it if they get it, which you might not want.
No.
So, because deactivating it is basically destroying it. So, yeah.
DM Runkle. He's going to have the best way of doing it. Gets tied. Niece, nephews are not blood related, but their mom has been my best friend for 29 years. Like my sister, her kids call me their aunt. Yep. That family doesn't have to be biological. It can be the family you choose.
Yep.
Chris and M96. My mom tried to teach me how to sew. We're too much alike. I didn't speak for a week. I saw what she did and was able to teach myself to sew after she passed. Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes that happens where you just styles don't mesh.
Uh-huh. Yeah. My dad was a mechanic. I was a woodworker. And we really didn't have a lot to talk about, but towards the end, he wanted to learn everything about my shop. Like, just wanted to learn all the tricks. I was like, I will teach you everything, Dad. So cool.
Nice.
Y'all go hug your loved ones. Adrian Angevine, thank you very much. No, you can't go. You are my excuse not to study for my midterm. I have to take tomorrow. Please, please, please don't make me study. You're still here. It's 11:25. It's not 1 a.m. That's my goal. Nick Loss, thank you very much. Denying all rumors of being Runkle's dad. Keep denying, Nicholas. We don't believe you. We don't believe you and your elven magic. The two of you. No, elven magic flows long in this bloodline. Jules C, have you seen anything new about crypto that moved from Alameda's wallets on chain? Prosecutors are supposedly probing, and no comment by bankruptcy team. I think that was the seizures. They are, we're going to see more info about this pop up next week. So I'm not letting this one go. I like following the story because everything is, I can read between the lines because bankruptcy attorney and also following the prosecution. And I like having that little leg up on masthead media of being the bankruptcy attorney that can read between the lines. So we'll see something next week. Guarantee it. Oh, speaking of next week, January 11th is the biggest motion argument to date so far. They are arguing over whether the names of the customers, clients, and owners of FTX should be disclosed or should be remain sealed. That's a contentious hearing. I will be covering, probably not live, but I'm going to listen in, and I will probably report on it later that evening. The 11th is Wednesday, so I'll probably have to get a live stream out probably around 6 p.m. before I can make trial century. So we're going to have fun. It's going to be a fun week.
Question of the moment.
Shoot.
You got to send me the list for Trials of the Century before I forget.
Yes, I do. I do.
Because I got to pick something.
No. Book in front of me. And I'm going to leave it on my screen so I can't forget about it. List to Scott and Runkle. And then we're going to do this. We're going to lean it against the screen so it's really annoying. So I see it because that's what ADHD people do. They interfere with their daily life to remind themselves of things. No, you stay right where I see you. Thank you. Katie posed, I was gifted membership. How do I renew? You should have the ability to renew towards the end of the month. That gifted membership is good for a month. The link should actually be in my channel about page. You should be able to say join, and you should be able to do it there if you wish to do so. Thank you very much for being here. And thank you for asking that question. That actually makes me feel really good. Thank you. Sassy Pants 101 voted. Will Rob's tie be in the outfit? Rob's tie will be everywhere. Rob's tie is Where's Waldo. Rob's tie is the Where's Waldo of Ian Runkle. I want that tie to be everywhere because it is hilarious when it shows up on Twitter. When you were fishing, where is that freaking tweet? Oh, God. Where is that tweet? I need to find that stupid thing. I need to find it because you posted that and so many people
We're like, hey, is that Rob's tie?
They were. And what was the other one? The one that was the article that was posted. It was about Nate. It was the Nate article, and it was.
Oh yes, and it was at the party. Yep.
Hang on. Yeah, I'm gonna find this. I have to find this now. You can distract people. I'm gonna pull up another super chat while you distract people. You distract people. I want to find this.
All right.
Oh, good. Travel Hound, your favorite.
Have a great weekend, folks. Happy 2023. Let's not mention TL anymore. She's the human equivalent of a belt made of watches. A waste of time.
Oh, I still heard that. Like I was searching, but I still heard that. That was really.
Yeah, Truffle Hound is always there with the dad jokes.
That was really good. That was so good. Okay, I found it. In that time it took, I found it. Oh my gosh, here we go. This is so great. My favorite thing in the world. Megan K, thank you very much. Epic and great photos. Also love this one especially. I see a settlement in your future. This is in response to Nate, the lawyer, who's commenting about an article that was published by the Daily Mail. No criticism. Fine. Nearman Joe, Ian Runkle, and Lumber Law. That's funny. Something in that picture looks familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's the tie that he's wearing. And who's this guy back there with the pink tie? And there's a yellow tie that I recognize. I spy with my little eye something yellow and floral. It's currently sitting on a peg about 3 feet away from me. These are my favorite tweets. When these things come out, when the tie randomly gets shown, and it's just like, you make a post like, tip, me, not my tie. Like, oh, okay. That was great. That made me laugh. So keep that tie as long as you can, as long as you want. And let's play Where's Waldo with the tie.
Sounds like a plan to me.
And Truffle Hound, waste of time. Great. Go ahead.
That tie will get worn again. I'll have to wear it in some really ridiculous scenarios.
No, the next time you're in front of like the Supreme Court,
you can't wear a standard tie in front of the Supreme Court.
Not even under the robes?
No, you have to wear like they call them tabs. Oh. And they're these little like
stupid
sort of yeah, I mean so you can't wear a tie with that. It's not part of the sort of get up that they make you wear.
Gundy's award. If they take a picture,
it's live streamed.
If it's a live stream,
so I got to wear that. Is what you're saying.
That if it's a live stream, I think that's fair. Chat, do you think that's fair? I think that's fair. If he gets the Gundy's and gets the award, how many of you want to see Ian in the yellow floral tie?
And now you guys have to make it happen just so that I can, just that you can see it there.
Yep. That's awesome. I love it. Thank you, Truffle Hound. Very much appreciated for the waste of time comment. M169, Rick reminds me of my mom. She set off every alarm in her ICU room after brain surgery. She didn't want to bother anybody to help her to the bathroom. Praying Rick will get better soon. He is a stubborn pain in the ass, but that is what makes him exactly who he is. So yes, 100%. And also one of the kindest souls I've ever had the opportunity to meet and be friends with.
Yeah.
So yeah, hearing his voice tonight was probably one of the coolest parts of the entire evening. Chris Mullen, thank you very much. Ian, hi, Ian. Have you ever played the Dragonlance role playing games and or reading the novels?
Yes, they're not my favorite, but I have played them.
Interesting. Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't admit that, but on the not my favorite, but it is what it is.
I'll pull that in a second. Melissa asks, so glad I get to listen while I'm driving out of town for work every month. You guys always make my drive so much better. Thank you. Finally made it to my hotel so I can relax a bit and enjoy the show. Melissa, I'm glad you made it safely. Glad you are where you are. Enjoy the wine, enjoy the evening, and thank you for being here. Arrow Scorpion, thank you. Idea, Law Nerd community support fundraiser game and or hot wing stream for Hogue. Thanks for all you guys do. May all your traffic lights be green. Ooh, that's a good omen. That's a good wish.
Yep.
Thank you, Arrow.
Just so long as it's not green in the other lane as well.
Yeah. Also, I got a really, really, really badass keychain from Arrow Scorpion that's a unicorn. Like,
oh, that is cool.
It's cool. Thank you, Arrow Scorpion. Adrian Angevine, thank you very much. Yes, please get better about announcing other streams you are on. I don't have the time to stalk you properly. For the record, that is a joke. I anticipated it was, and I will try. I do try. Oftentimes, I will, like last night, I sent a chat, like a super chat into Ian. And Ian was like, oh, you're awake, and like sent me the link. So I don't really have a lot of chance. I had enough chance to dust the like sawdust off of me like as I walked upstairs. Kristen M96, thank you very much. Just when you think Rob was triggered about FTX, nope, bad shop talk was the trigger. Yes, safety stuff in the shop will always be the superior trigger to FTX. So it will be to Ian too, to be honest.
Yeah, no, you got to be careful because you only get one set of eyes. You only get one set of lots of things, neck, face, all of these things. When you see some of the injuries people rack up screwing around in shops.
And to be fair, Ian says that stuff like because he knows it's going to get a rise out of me. That's the actual accurate comment.
It's because it's funny.
Yeah.
That's why I say that stuff.
Courtney asks, we didn't have shop class in high school on Long Island. You are talking about tools and things that sound very scary. I will stay far, far away. They're not scary. They're approachable. You just have to do it safely.
Yep. And I mean, like one of the things is, you know, I've got hair elastics in my shop. And the reason why is because I got long
damn
hair.
well need to. Yeah.
Yep. And with, you know, rotary tools, you make sure that stuff is, you know, kept in. So,
yep. When I get home from work, I change into a t-shirt because if you have long sleeves, you cannot, not around tools. Nope.
Yep. No rings,
Lauren.
no several other things.
Yeah, correct. The Lauren, what's the best place to DM you a pic of my project? Twitter is probably the best. I get there the easiest and the fastest. Speaking of DMs of projects, I have one I want to share real quick, if we can do that briefly. Here we go. So Mighty Muffin on Twitter sent this to me while we were live. This is a bag that she made for her sister for Christmas this year. I think it's
cool.
Really pretty. Isn't that pretty?
That is.
I think it's pretty. And then she also made... No. Bad. She made a plate. It's really cool. I can't share it right now, but it's really cool. It's a plate of lighthouses. So Mighty Muffin, keep making stuff. It's awesome. I love seeing it. Makes me happy. Thank you very much. Heather, thank you very much for being here. When my brother was 4, he painted a picture at kindergarten and took it home to my mom and dad. It was just a gray blob of paint that covered paper. When asked what it was, he said, a foggy day. Mom and dad still laugh about it now. Fucking kids. Oh my God, that's amazing. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Heather. That's really cool. Thank you for the super chat and thank you for sharing that. Equality, thank you very much. I crochet. What is that? Toques?
No, it's what is it? It's a form of art, but it's you know, sewing and so forth.
That is. It is.
It's like
little
knitting.
cute hats. It's hats. Yeah, knit hats. Okay. Or knitting. Knit things. Okay.
Knit things. Yeah.
I
Not
crochet
necessarily
knit
hats.
things. Knit things for my kids every winter. They'll be too embarrassed to wear something mommy made. But for now, my daughter, 8 years old, wears it every day and tells me my mom made it proudly. Makes me smile every time. Pro tip, that daughter is going to clutch that thing like it's their last and most favorite possession when they turn 30, 40, etc. So that kid's
yeah, when the kid is tired of it, save it.
Yep. They'll want it
there
back.
will come a day they'll want it back.
Yep. 100%. Jelly Bean, thank you very much. Just wanted to share with the law nerds. I signed a new lease today. I finally found a safe home I've been looking for a year now.
Nice.
Jelly Bean, that is wonderful, wonderful news. Congratulations. And please stay safe. Keep yourself safe and your family safe. Thank you for sharing that. Here for years, Rob, please don't cut your hair. I need to at some point. Tim Cranston, thank you. Speaking of wine, reminds me if it's not from the Caux region of France, it's officially sparkling regime change. What, the champagne? Yeah. Drama. Chocolate Port Lover. Oh, what a clever name. Chocolate Port Lover. Chocolate Port Lover. Question for Runkle. Thoughts on life without parole for 13 years for killing 2 men? Like, what the F?
So this is referring to a guy who got into a dispute with some people over hunting issues and killed 2, was convicted of manslaughter for 1 and murder for the other. So now, I mean, people often freak out when they hear Canadian sentences because Canadian sentences are typically less than in the US, but it's life in prison. Without the possibility of parole. So he's at least 13 years before he gets to apply for parole. And most people don't get parole their first, go around. Most people take a while. He may never get parole. And if he does get parole, that's not the end of his sentence. He's going to be sentenced until he dies. So even if,
Wait, you can continue sentencing?
Well, it's not like he's resentenced. It's that he is on parole for the rest of his life.
Oh, okay.
So that that entire time, if he screws up, and screwing up can be something small, right? He gets accused of shoplifting or something like that. Then he goes right back into custody and doesn't get released. So, it can be a real big thing, but, yeah, there's going to be lots of people who are going to be real upset. It just is what it is. Some people are going to say too much. I'm seeing people saying that. Some people are going to say too little. That is the case. That's always the way these things go. But yeah, I don't know enough about their specific circumstances to comment too much on the sentencing, because sentencing is highly individualized and relies on, they look a lot at the specific circumstances of the person as opposed to just the offense. I mean, the offense is certainly relevant, but it's not all they look at by any stretch.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Ian.
Well, nothing like talking about a little bit of, murder to, the other aspect that really is going to make this contentious is that there's a racial element to it. Because this was a dispute in part over hunting rights with between Indigenous versus non-Indigenous people. So, yeah, it's contentious.
Well, in positive news, some of our followers do Morse code. So this is a keychain that was made by Southern Colorado, I imagine, SLP, SOCO-SLP. It's a bracelet for her mom and sister-in-law. Each has names of kids and grandkids. Morse code. That's freaking cool. That was just to bring light to the little darkness. But Crazy Cat Queen, Ian, my starter hot sauce is ketchup. That is unfortunate in so many ways.
Yeah, I've got a friend who, when I asked about the, about hot sauces, they're like, or I was asking about ketchup, and they're like, it's not the spicy ketchup, is it? And I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah. And I see people saying I might be looking at the wrong trial or wrong case. So, we've got a few murders on the go at the moment.
And y'all that are asking how you send me pics, I am flipping randomly. There is no rhyme or reason. I'm pulling up all of y'all's stuff. I'm trying to highlight it, but I will not be able to get to it. I actually want to get through the super chats before we get to 1, because that's my goal, is before 1 a.m. We have landed this thing at over 4/5 hours every night, and I kind of would like to land it at not that. And I think Ian would like sleep. It looks like he wants sleep. Did I mention I grow BOC at 1.1 million Scoville? BOC. Some type of pepper, I imagine.
Just looking here. Yeah, I'm not sure which pepper it is, but that sounds delightful.
1.1 million sounds delightful. It sounds painful, but I'll do it. That Sarah, not the Sarah or this Sarah, but that Sarah. Runkle, have you tried Running Hot? If not, watch Glass Onion. Glass Onion, I am in the middle of watching. I have my opinions, but I'm not there yet. I want to finish it.
I got to watch it. I suspect I'm going to have opinions too, but I don't know yet.
Have you watched Knives Out yet?
I have. I really like Knives Out.
I like Knives Out. That's why I'm withholding opinion, because I hope it's not like a botch. I loved Knives Out, but
I saw part of it and I was just like, oh, they're not doing this, are they?
It could be bad. I can't decide yet. Benoit Blanc is a good character. I just don't like what they do to him. Nick Loss, Ian sent you a picture of my Akavit in Twitter DM, so you can look it up.
I did.
Sandra Ramirez, thank you very much. I love the gifts people send you, Rob. Would it be okay if I did a genealogy for you? I am not very art inclined, but genealogy is my passion. You could. It's kind of tough to track down. The family name changed quite a bit. My uncle did a great job of that. So, yeah.
And no,
DM
I
me.
was looking at the right case. Yeah, it's a contentious case.
A lot of them are, so it kind of sucks. But Sandra, DM me or email me. I saw your email earlier today, so please, that you can email me. That'll work. Bo Johan, thank you very much. Constantly confused. To heck with T or Malort fundraiser. We'll donate to a hatless, uncut hair stream. Just saying. What is wrong with y'all? Look at that. There's
some thirst.
It's inappropriately long. What is wrong with all of you? I have asked questions of my friends, and I was like, why? And that's not a real thing. That's not a real thing. It's not hair. That is a mistake. That needs to be cut. Potion Master Danya, thank you very much. Rob, I sent you a package for Christmas via UPS. Did you get it? I didn't have a tracking number to send you. Please let me know if I need to go back to UPS and ask them what happened. I'm sorry. Potion Master Danya. Potion Master Danya. If you are still watching, if you wouldn't mind kindly DMing me, because the thing is, you guys sign real names and sometimes like screen names. I have a list of thank you notes that's like a mile long. And I'm trying to get them out. I'm actually trying to do them on the Cricut and etc. If you wouldn't mind DMing me or emailing me what it was that you sent. I know it's not like really classy to do that, but just let me know just so I can maybe add it to the list of things I need to keep an eye out for.
I get a lot of them that have no return.
No, nothing.
Anything.
I know.
And it's like, this is a really great gift and I don't know who it's from.
I want to be able to like highlight it, and I have some of them labeled. I have stapled like the gift things back to the. I really do love highlighting everything y'all do. Honestly, it's one of my favorite things in the world, and I try to do that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow during the stream. I'll pull everything I have down into the shop and just walk through them. But Potion Master, DM me, please, or email me, lawandlumber@gmail.com, please. Nicholas, thank you very much. A 6'3", 250 pounds. I am far away from being a goblin. You are not, my friend.
You need to read Melissa S's chat.
Why? What happened?
Just do it. Just read it.
Where is it? Scrolling. No. Naughty. Naughty
you
chat.
Totally need to read that.
Naughty chat. Bad chat. Nicholas, you are not a goblin, my friend. You are a giant. Stacy Walpole, thank you very much. You spoke to Rick. Was he on air or phone? I didn't speak to him directly. I speak to the second person in charge, rather the lady of the house. So I would love to speak to Rick. I actually asked if I could. We will get there at some point. We're not there yet. We will. And we're going to have faith, and we're going to push through until we are.
Yep.
Marvin CZ, one of the last memories I have of my mom is her teaching me to bake. I even recorded parts of it. I treasure that. It will soon be 2 years since we lost her. Marvin CZ, thank you. I imagine the smells of the kitchen inundate your thoughts a lot of times. Still talk to him. It's been 3 years since my dad passed. So they're always there. They don't leave. Thank you for that. And thank you for being here. And thank you for sharing that. Red Shoes, Ian, I've just ordered the hot corn chips for you, so they'll make their way to you soon. Checked their Scoville rating, apparently 1.5 million. Enjoy. You guys have different definitions of the word enjoy.
Fun.
Y'all got weird words of fun. Thank you, Red Shoes. Mama Piggy, thank you. My dad always told me I had to wear shoes in the shop, but I still go in with no shoes. I've never gotten a metal shaving. Ooh, that's a game you don't want to play too long.
Yep, I will tell you, those metal shavings, like from a metal lathe, yep, they tend to work their way in.
And they break. They do not pull out. They break off in the skin. Do not do that. Shoes.
You have to kind of twist them out, like, yeah, it's real bad.
And they still break. Do not do that. Shoes, please. Whiskey 77. You know you love Law Talk with Mike. The record reflects. Oh, the record does not reflect. Whiskey 77. You said the same thing. Thank you very much again. You know you love Law Talk with Mike. The record reflects. It does not. Oh, no, you did it twice, so the record reflected twice. Oh, I hate not being smart enough to catch those. Professor of Logic. Lindsay, sounds like you are getting him a coffin. It's a coffin that has a chip in it, but it's not. It's wings. But yes, Lindsay, hot sauce is on the way. But Rob, I also have 2 questions that I need answered for other gift purposes. 1, how tall are you? 6 feet. 2, pick one: cedar, walnut, cherry, figured maple, or African mahogany. Different purposes, different applications. If I am making something, I will opt for cherry, easiest to work with. Kind of finicky, but also you can work around it. The only problem is consistent grain pattern in cherry. You get different colors and hues. So paintable or stainable furniture, cherry is great. Walnut is great because it is the every material wood. You can make everything out of it. Honestly, the grain pattern holds up, good strength, but also workable. Maple, figured, pain in the butt, very chippy. African mahogany, if I'm turning something or making something small, that. Rob, be forewarned, crochet and knitting are 2 different fiber crafts. You might get grief for saying one for the other. Oh my gosh. Ian, can I borrow you for a second? I have to run, get something.
Oh, yep.
Oh, there you go. Ian.
So for the Luger, the military museums in Calgary will likely arrange transport and take it. They are big into preventing destruction of historic firearms. That is awesome. Just make sure that they are going to preserve it rather than destroying it, because destroying, not good. I don't appreciate that at all. So yeah, see, husband made coffin speakers for daughter. That is a pretty cool thing. And I see Barney Cat's sister saying it's countdown to dirty freaking 30. Here's to adulting. Any words of wisdom? We're all just making it up as we go along. Like, seriously, nobody knows what they're doing. So see people. Ooh, I have a Korean aunt and grew up eating spicy everything. I eat kimchi almost daily. I've got some homemade kimchi. I want to eat some of that. I'm feeling a little hungry, so now I'm going. So
I tried to change into the unicorn onesie, but there were pants. It was too long. I tried. Someone asked, and that was in response to that one. Where'd you get the lawyer unicorn outfit? Someone sent it to me. I tried to change into it. I tried to be dramatic about it. Sorry, that's my fault. But they're on Amazon. The Lauren, I sent you a DM. You are right. It is relaxing. I told you. Jillian Whelan, thank you very much. Thank you, Ian. I added cola to bad red wine, threw in ice, and enjoyed a refresh. Oh. No.
It wasn't that bad.
You are not allowed to advertise this.
Oh, come on. You know,
my stream will not allow advertising of blaspheming drinks and wine.
You know it wasn't that bad.
It was bad. So bad.
It was not.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm so sorry, chat. That was a cough that was right near the microphone. Came up out of nowhere. Oh, you already answered Tim Cranston's super chat. Thank you, Tim. Petty, honest throwaway. Thank you very much. I absolutely love it when you and Runkle get together. I beg for a regularly scheduled show that you two together, like Eric and Nate have. He and I are on a lot, and it's because we are friends and we can actually can talk shit to each other.
It would be great to have a regularly scheduled show. I just don't have a regular schedule.
He doesn't. So. And to be fair, neither do I. Friday is the only regular thing I have. And I love having it when Wednesdays. You guys see us every week on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I get along with Ian as a friend, and it's that level of trust that I have with Ian and with others that are friends on this platform that allows the shows to work the way they do. It's that comfort. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty awesome thing that sort of exists out there. So, yeah.
Oh no, cast iron mama. Answer to the hair question. You know how you just grabbed it? Oh God.
What did they say?
You know, he just grabbed a handful of your hair. The thirst is real out there. P.S. I'm happily married. Y'all, it's hair. It's hair. It is a hair. Nicholas, thank you very much. You can crave my DNA out of my dead cold hands. Claw, I think you were meaning to say, but or was it Cray?
I don't know.
I don't know, but no. Amanda Beach Life, thank you much. If your sides was shorter, call it a winter mohawk. I can't get away with that in court. Samantha Sinus, I have a decent amount of artistic talents, but no time for them. So my forte talent is ordering gifts from Amazon. You mean like cursey affirmative words, cursey words of affirmation? Those were awesome, by the way. Thank you. I needed those. They were great. Tasha Trombley, thank you very much. I have a Korean aunt and grew up eating spicy everything. I eat kimchi almost daily. Dude, the thing is, there's Asian spice and every spice
kimchi
hits
is
different.
Excellent. Yes.
It is. It is. Every spice hits different. If you are Asian spice trained, if your body knows how to handle it,
you gotta love that moment where you switch from one kind of spice to the other.
Oh.
And so, like, I've been eating, hot wings, and I'm just doing fine, and then I go for Indian, and it just wrecks me, and I'm just like, oh my God, why? Yeah, that's a fun life moment where you're just like, oh right, I have no immunity to this, and it's just gonna absolutely ruin me today.
Destroy you. Yep.
Yep.
But yeah.
But I mean,
kimchi
I don't mind
good.
that.
Kimchi is good.
Yeah.
And I took Ian to a Korean chicken place down the street.
Oh man, that place was good.
It was good. It was good.
And they're that's you sure you want the hottest? And I'm like,
I know. And that's the damn shame is like you weren't here long enough. And the thing is, you were late. You were home late enough that I could not take you out to all the different food places there are around here. DC has some of the best food you can imagine. So we got to get a trip back.
I might be coming out that way for a shooting competition.
I know. You mentioned you have to send me the dates.
And then I'm gonna have to book some time just for like hangout time because
I agree.
We can go visit the courthouse and not sleep on the floor.
I agree. Why is my chat talking about boobies?
I mean, you know they're going to.
Okay. You guys do that. That's fine.
And I see Koru saying that they make their own hot sauces. I've got some homemade hot sauce in the fridge, and it's my favorite hot sauce.
I had 50 peppers at the end of the year that were unconsumed. So
you got to ferment that.
I'm drying them.
Oh, that works too.
So I'm going to work on those. But next year, I think I'm going to I'm going to ferment them, but I have plans. But Barney Cat's sister. It's countdown to dirty freaking 30 years adulting. Any words of wisdom? Ian relayed them. Enjoy every freaking day. And don't let people say you get older and worse. Honestly, you can be a big kid. It's so much fun.
I mean, your body's going to wear out, but have fun doing that.
Yep. There's an audio on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is. It's like the thing is, I'm an adult now, but still trapped with juvenile's body. But I have adult money and I can make irresponsible decisions. Enjoy that from time to time. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, crazy cat queen.
I'm not. I just started. Anyways, Syria Black. My dad had brain surgery on the 23rd, and my aunt had a stroke on the 30th. Both are recovering very well. I pray Hogue does as well as they are. Syria Black, cheers to your family. I hope they recover.
Fingers crossed.
Speedily. That was air. Speedily and with all the love and good intentions I can muster. Thank you. The real AB. Go Wolfpack. Go Wolfpack indeed. We beat Duke in the basketball game, which you don't follow, but we beat Duke in the sports ball. Big game. Very important. Here for years. Playing with Rob's hair. Oh, God. Stacked with Daddy. Oh, sure. Thank you very much for that. Here's for years. Lindsay, since you refused to pick a wood option, I chose for you, and you get what you get. Oh. Lindsay, thank you. You don't have to send anything, but thank you very much for all that you do. Truly. Lindsay is responsible for a lot of the members' emojis you guys have. So, Crazy Cat. Oh, God. Crazy Cat Queen. Rob, that's really cute that you act like you've never grabbed a handful of a girlfriend's hair before. I would never do something so offensive. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, gentlemen, we do the head scratchies because you like them, and we do the hair grazies because you like them. Why does it's like you guys just want to grab and yank hair? I don't understand it.
So long as both people are into it, whatever you guys work out is all good.
Head
Just,
scratchies.
Ask first.
Head scratchies. Those are the best. Period. End of story. Head scratchies. Don't be, dear. Thank you, Crazy Cat Queen, for making that uncomfortable but fun. Nick Loss, I have a bottle of 8-year-old vodka, BOC. I get in a shot. Ooh.
Which is with peppers. Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Ooh. Boot Orange Copenhagen. Fascinating. I'm Nicholas. I'm really curious. Nicholas, you're in the Discord. Do you have like a method of making that? I'd love to see it. No, you didn't. False. Jessica Tomlinson, thank you very much. Rob, don't forget you have Firefly on your watch list. Time for some thrilling heroics. I have so many things on my watch list. But thank you, Jessica, for reminding me of that. I do. I have reading list. I have watch list. I have build list. You know what? I'm going to multitask. I'm going to throw something on in the shop tomorrow and watch. That sounds like fun. We'll do that. So, as I promised, it is 12:03 a.m. my time, which means that we are landing this ship at a reasonable hour. So, and I say that, and Vivi Poo, thank you very much. I'm Filipino, and my dad loves to soak those little spicy red. Oh, those are gnarly. Those little Filipino peppers.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Like,
send me a recipe for that. Send me a recipe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are good. They're good. They are hot.
Oh, I love Thai chilies, and so my wife bought a package of them because she was going to use like one or two for a recipe, and I walked by and I just like pulled one out and was eating it. And she's just like, "What is wrong with you?"
That's like, good Thai food is when you see the pepper still in it, and you're like, oh.
There's a place I order, and so they've got two menus, and like the first menu is like the menu that they hand you when you walk in and you're a white person. And the second menu is the menu that you have to ask for. Mm-hmm. And the second menu has things like, here is a soup that is just floating with like, a whole bunch of, Thai chilies in it. And, oh man, some of that stuff is so good.
Those chilies are Those chilies are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Firefly is only 14 episodes. Debbie W. Thank you very much. Wow. Okay.
You got to
And
watch
that was, people were saying like, Rob your stream tomorrow. Yes. I said 1 p.m. I would set up the member stream. I can wake up and watch something. Theoretically. You went to NCSU grabbing hair on Hillsborough Street. Dude, no. Like that was years ago. That feels like a long time ago. We had a wall that was the expression wall where you could write anything. And we had a wall that was the gum wall where you could put gum, like gum that was like decades old on the wall.
Gross.
Awesome. College is great. Did the neighbor make eggnog? So much of it. It was delicious. It was fantastic. My neighbor is awesome. And he also makes his own hot sauce and chilies. So the spice, like he is like Runkle level of spice. I'm like just below that. So he'll pull out his peppers and I'm like, oh, that's hot. And he's like, I'm just going to enjoy it.
Amanda Lang is asking the name of the restaurant, P&L. P&L Chinese. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, all friends of ale. Well, what was it? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends of all ages. Is that the Disney thing? Folks, it was a week. We had a good one. We had a lot of cases to cover. There's a lot to catch up on. We had a certain writer. We're not going to call her by the J word. Certain writer that made some comments. We had remarks to it.
I'll call her by the J word. Jackass.
It was so appropriate.
Tell me I'm wrong.
It was so appropriate. Y'all have been fantastic and amazing, as always. And to my very good friend, Ian Runkle. Runkle of the Bailey is his channel. Roll of Law is his secondary channel. Please go check those out on YouTube. He makes fantastic comments and content. Comments are on Twitter. Check him out there, too. Very funny. Content is on YouTube. Vote for him for the Gundies. The link is still posted or pinned in the chat above. Let's get a Canadian Runkle wearing a Canadian flag, getting a 2A award. That would be amazing. But yeah, so.
Oh my God, the amount of salt you'd see from some people.
I would be so happy. I would be so happy.
There'd be some people who didn't win who would just be straight salty. And I would be so there for it.
Yeah, I would be so happy. To all of you, I hope you had a wonderful week, a fantastic weekend. Here's to a wonderful weekend. Get in the shop, get outdoors, do some stuff, have some fun, crochet and make some things, knit some things, do whatever you got to do to make yourself happy. And I will see you guys shortly. If you have not done those YouTube things, like, subscribe, all the things you want to do. And then till a little bit later, Nicole has ADHD. Sent Twitter DMs to both of you of the project we are working on for Captain Corey. We could use your help. I will check that out the second I get off the stream. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Pick on Twitter. Feel free to publish. Thank you, Nicholas. Very much appreciated. You guys are amazing. Amazing. All of you. Thank you. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to let my friend Ian go for the evening. Thank you guys very much. And what?
And I do have an announcement to make, which is that I will not be talking crap about immortality any further because, they really stepped up. So the team there are really awesome.
Very special way for a very special person.
So you won't be hearing me talk crap about the game anymore. So hopefully we'll be able to sort of give you the details on that at some point. But for right now, just I will say they are the best kinds of people. So
yep. So what a great way to end the night. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you then.